Bubbles of info. Bubbles of fun. Bubbles of music. Ever wonder why these people do the Macarena? Or who styles Tina's hair? Well, find out on VH1's Pop-Up Video. Fun-filled facts packed into your favorite videos. Only on VH1. Pop-Up Video. Pop-Up Video.
Understanding him is hard. Controlling him...
Promise me you'll stay right here?
...may be impossible.
Oh my God!
From the director of Wayne's World, Chris Farley, David Spade.
So what do you want to do today?
No, 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 no! Black Sheep.
Promise me you'll stay in the car.
Free minutes was good.
5 free minutes was great.
But 10 minutes free with my psychic is even better. My psychic told me not to worry. So I went back to school and now I've got a great job. Now that's a true friend.
Talking about true friends, 10 minutes free is where it's at.
Now that's for me.
She knew that my boyfriend Donald was scared of commitment. But the advice she gave me turned the tables. And now he's begging me for attention.
Get 10 minutes free. Call 1-900-454-1143.
Sport, you got it! All new episodes of your favorite TV show. VH1's 8-track flashback. More classic hits from the 70s, sung by the original stars.
He rocks in the treetop all day long.
VH1's 8-track flashback. It's a TV show. Only available on VH1.
Sunday night watch-alongs are finally back after a couple of weeks off due to the holidays. Happy New Year, everyone, and welcome to our WWE Royal Rumble 1991 watch-along, kicking it old school tonight, going all the way back 32 years on a night that Bushwhacker Luke set an all-time record in the Royal Rumble. Happy birthday to Bushwhacker Luke, by the way. Somebody in the chat here mentioned that it's the loudest pop that Virgil ever got, and I completely forgot. We've got the tag, the Virgil DiBiase against the Rhodes family tag on this show as well. This is a long one, 3 hours and 7 minutes, according to Peacock. We're going to be sitting here watching this show, and we have not done this is the oldest Royal Rumble I think we've ever done, aside from one small 1990 Royal Rumble match watch-along I did a couple of years ago. So this will be fun to go all the way back and watch Royal Rumble 1991, Sergeant Slaughter, Ultimate Warrior, WWE title, of course, Hulk Hogan in the main event with a lot of other good people in this Royal Rumble as well. It should be fun to relive this night, look at all these stars again. I have not gone back and watched this Rumble like straight through in I don't know how many years, but I've definitely seen it several times, so I'm familiar with it, and I'm familiar with most of the history of these early Rumbles. So this should be fun to take a look at tonight. Glad we're back and glad we're here doing this together. I will say hi to the chat. I kind of went live like 3 or 4 minutes earlier than normal since this is a longer than normal pay-per-view, and I want to give us enough time to watch it so we're not staying up too late. I also have the Lions and Packers right here on the TV above me, so we're going to be eyeballing that game as well. You guys have got to smarten me up on the implications of this. I believe it's win and you're in. I mean, if Lions win, they should make the wild card of the playoffs or something. Do I have that right? If not, let me know, but I'm rooting for the boys in blue tonight to go into Lambeau and thump that Putz Aaron Rodgers. No offense to all you Packer fans in here. But anyway, let me say hello to Zane G. A lot of good channel members in here. That's awesome. Tatanani in the house. By the way, Tatanani and JJ Leg, your Sami Zayn, My Dog t-shirts finally came in the mail. So I will be dropping those in the mail to you tomorrow, and you should have them in just a couple of days. So thank you again for winning that contest. And this was our 3rd time donating to Sammy for Syria. Good to see you here, man. Also, we are pro wrestling in the house, the Rumble of the year I was born. Holy shit, I am 14 years older than you. All right, you dated yourself, Mr. 31-year-old. Jay Lambeau, what's going on? David Brown, 32-year-old maybe. David Brown is in the house. Good to see you. John Fitzmaurice, the Juliet, and Ray Frand, and Victor Colon rounding out some more channel members here. Also have George Morris chiming in with his token $5. Hey, Greg, how you doing? Royal Rumble 91, 10 out of 10. What did you think of the pop-up video Brady Bunch, and how boring was Royal Rumble 2010 to you? 2010. Oh, God. So who won that year? Not Sheamus. Who the hell won that year? It was Shawn going into Mania. It was Shawn's final match, right? What was the championship? I don't even remember who won 2010, so I couldn't tell you. I don't think I've ever watched 2010 a second time. So you guys are going to have to fill me in on who won that year. I don't remember. Maybe Cena or something. Good to see Jeff McMahon in the house. And also, George, as always, thank you for being here, dude. Ray Fran, I think I got you. Johnny X, No Holds Bar, J.L. Froz. William in the house, another channel member. Thanks for being here, my friend. And We Are Pro Wrestling chiming in with $5. What's up, dude? Hope your new year was great. New to the channel as a retrospective on Primetime Wrestling. And coming this week, Raw's Greatest Matches. That's really cool. Go check out We Are Pro Wrestling's YouTube channel. Would be interested to hear what you have to say about Primetime Wrestling because we are now on the 30-year anniversary of the end of Primetime Wrestling. I watched that last roundtable show where Vince made the announcement of Monday Night Raw, and then I think there was a week break where they did like a taped show with Gorilla and Bobby, and then they went into Monday Night Raw, and we are 30 years removed from that night. Actually, this coming Wednesday is the 30th anniversary of Raw's debut, and I'm going to be spending Raw's anniversary in a Dynamite arena because I'll be at the LA Forum for Dynamite on Wednesday, and I'm looking forward to that. He also has Raw's Greatest Matches coming to his channel as well, so go check out We All Pro Wrestling. Good stuff over there. Really knowledgeable guy, and he sometimes helps us out with some of our facts in this chat, so hopefully you'll stick around tonight and watch Rumble 91 with us. JJ Lag, I was just talking about you. Your Sami Zayn t-shirt will be dropped in the mail tomorrow as well. Hey, Greg, not going to be here for long watching the Packers Lions game with my friend. You're not ditching the game for us? I don't know, JJ. I don't know, man. Let's go Packers and have fun at Dynamite, man. Thank you so much, JJ. I'm not going to hate on the Packers because I know a lot of my listeners are Packer fans. I have always liked and appreciated the Packers. I love the history of Lambeau Field and the team and all of that. I haven't been a big fan of their quarterbacks. Their Super Bowl winning quarterbacks both are assholes, and I think that's the only thing I really have against them other than that. And, of course, being an NFC North team, you're a rival to my Lions, but my Lions always suck. So, in my mind, if we can't make it, might as well root for someone in our neck of the woods, which is usually the Green Bay Packers. So, other than Mr. Con Air slow motion walking to the ring on training camp day and that corrupt fuck Brett Favre, aside from that, got really nothing against the Packers. So JJ, no hard feelings if you guys beat us tonight. No biggie. I'll be happy for you. Who else is here? Enigma in the house. We got Chris Ludek chiming in with $5. What up, Greg? I think this was the first WWF video I rented when I was little. I do have this VHS, and I forgot to stick it right behind me. It's back there on the shelf. Was the original plan for Warrior to win and rematch with Hogan at WrestleMania 7? I don't know. I don't know what the plan internally was for Hogan and Warrior. I do know that right after WrestleMania 6, they kind of did like a kayfabe article in WWF Magazine where I think it was Jack Tunney had made a ruling that there is going to be no rematch. Basically, these two guys beat the shit out of each other so bad that another match between them might destroy them both, was basically the gist of the article, if I remember right. And I think that was their way of trying to get out of having to do another rematch, and maybe they were going to see how the year went. I would have loved to see Hogan and Warrior sell out the LA Coliseum and put 100,000 people in there for the rematch. Vince wanted to go in the All-American direction and try to cash in on the war and create a heel out of that situation, and that was his decision. WrestleMania 7 was one of the most predictable in history, and I think if you would have done Hogan Warrior 2, might have been less so, but I don't really recall what the original plan was. Zach Palgett in the house. So good to see you, dude. Also, Surge is here. So is Spaz Phoenix chiming in with a very generous $10 all the way up in freezing butt-cold Canada. What's up, dude? Happy New Year, Greg, and all cheap plug. I got a 2022 year in review pod up now, and I brought back my movie series, Flick Fix, with a few thoughts on the movie M3 again, Megan. That came out this weekend. I suck at movies, dude. I don't know anything about that, but please go hit up Spaz Phoenix. Check out his new Flick Fix series and check out that movie review and everything else he has on his channel regarding wrestling as well. Another good dude with a lot of good knowledge ricocheting around inside of his skull. MJ Parker is here. So is Cynthia Christie. Good to see you. Andy Linnell up in the house. And that kind of rounds it out for most of the shout-outs there. I apologize if there's anybody that I'm missing, but I think we should get to moving on this Royal Rumble 91 since it's kind of long. So you guys are mostly here every week. You know the drill. In just a minute, we're all going to hit play together, and when we do, the timer above my head will begin to run. If we have any issues throughout the night, any interruptions, pauses on your end or my end or whatever, the timer will always keep running, and we will just sync up to the timer if we have any of those issues. But usually we don't. We should be good to go. And you guys know the drill. We are watching on Peacock, so if you are watching on another platform or you are watching on a DVD or something, you might not be syncing up perfectly. But if you're on Peacock, you should be fine. Now, if you're on Peacock, you want to go to the Royal Rumble tab under WWE, go to Season 4, Episode 1, and it's going to be a 3-hour and 7-minute runtime. So I'm going to go ahead and click this now and get us set up. Get all your zeros across the board there. If you got to wait through any ads, go ahead and do that. We'll give it another 30 seconds here so you can get through that. And then we'll hit play together, and it's just set it and forget it. Click it and relax. And we'll be here for the next 3 hours and 7 minutes to watch a pretty memorable Royal Rumble. And I'm excited for the Royal Rumble match because I know there's a lot of great talent in it, with Hogan and Hennig and the Modern Day Warrior, the Road Warriors, Earthquake's in there. Boss Man's on the cover of this thing. I think Macho Man is supposed to be in the Rumble, but I think he no-shows, if I'm not mistaken, because he hightailed it out of the arena after he was naughty. And this is a long show. I remember there's also that entire Ultimate Warrior and Sherry segment where she asks for a title shot, I think, and Warrior turns her down. So there's a lot going on this show, and it was pretty packed and pretty long for this time period. So, heck yeah. All right, I think we are ready to rock over here on my end. Now I'm going to get my double mouse here ready. I'm going to get my finger on the timer, and I'm going to get my finger on the play button, and we will do a countdown from 3, and we're going to hit play together if you guys are ready. Hopefully you're queued up and ready to rock, and here we go. 3, 2, 1, play. Perfect. Perfect. And we're opening up with an American flag. Isn't that nice? Very quiet. Oh, Howard. Oh, they're going to play the national anthem. Nobody's going to sing it? Oh, they're just going to play it over the loudspeaker. Okay. Well, you got to remember, during this time, this was around the time of the Gulf War going on, and they were really leaning into that pretty hard. They started all the way back that previous summer when Slaughter came in as a heel, and he started really pushing hard on the American turncoat stuff. This is the type of shit Vince was into. He was very old school and very out of touch, even in 1991, still wanting to go with this. Everybody who's not from America is a heel. And then even having former Americans, former baby faces, now treading over onto the other side and becoming a turncoat. And Slaughter claims that his life was in danger, his family was threatened, and it was a very, very scary time for him doing this gimmick. So that's the way it was back in the day. By the way, guys, I do have a nice frosty beverage. Guess who's back? Dun, 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 dun. No more Stella tonight. We're going with Steve Austin's, Broken Skull Lager from El Segundo. So cheers to you guys as the anthem wraps up. WWE usually did the America the Beautiful, but during this time they were, that girl's gnawing on a pretzel. Good for you, kid. That kid is probably 35 years old today. How crazy is that? And lots of bombs in the air. My favorite is Frank Drebin on Naked Gun singing the national anthem. It's Enrico Palazzo. They need to get Enrico Palazzo to come do this. A movie I think probably came out around the same time as this pay-per-view did. Maybe a little earlier. I love these old Royal Rumble intros. The Royal Rumble. I've never reviewed this show either, ever. At least I don't think. Hogan. We got Brett. Animal. Vince, let me announce him. Undertaker. Tugboat. The Model. Perfect. Hacksaw. Earthquake. Saba Simba shout out. The British Bulldog. Roma. Pretty Paul. Tito, he's over here somewhere. Butch the Bushwhacker. Jake. One-Eyed Roberts. Warlord. Demolition. Do we really have Demolition, Road Warriors, and Powers of Pain all in this match? I think we do. Barbarian's in it. Barbarian should be in it. Crush. Dino Bravo. Greg Valentine. Herc and Greg were both baby faces. There's Shane Douglas. Holy shit. I think Shane Douglas has a pretty good showing in this. Haku. And the Macho King. I did not see Barbarian in this, so I guess I am not right. The Royal Rumble. I mean, I thought it was so gnarly that Slaughter started wearing those boots, those Iron Sheik boots. The Rhodes family. One of the only appearances of Dustin in the WWE prior to Goldust. He was only there for like 2 months. Oh, Boss Man and Barbarian one-on-one, huh? This is very Halloween Havoc 1998-ish. There's a couple matches on here. Do we need Boss Man and the Barbarian? Miami, oh, I didn't even know it was in Miami. Miami Arena, Miami, Florida. Is that where, at the time, the Miami Heat played? Miami Heat, I think they were an expansion team around like 89-ish, so I think they existed. I could be wrong about that. Look at Piper. He's jacked. By the way, thumbs up button smashes would be appreciated, if you guys don't mind. I mean, Vince was always very supportive, at least on camera anyway, of the armed forces. I mean, even after this, years after, you know, we went overseas and did those Iraq shows for so many years. And as somebody who has a lot of family in the service, I can appreciate that, even though Vince is a punk. Oh, nice, MJ Parker. You got yourself a Stella. I did not join you on the Stella tonight. I'm going Broken Skull Lager. Another reason why I get Stella a lot is because I'm fucking lazy, and I don't like to go shopping for beer. I'll usually just grab whatever's at the store. But today I went and got a sub at one of my favorite sub places down the road, and it's right across the street from a Bevmo. So I walked into Bevmo and was able to find these, brought these home with a nice turkey bacon ranch sub with a pickle from Firehouse. That was my lunch today. Is it just me, or does the Orient Express have a tag match at every Royal Rumble? I could be wrong about that. It just feels like they have had more than one of these. And this would have been in the, I guess, the Paul Diamond days after Sato. Sato would come back to manage Hakushi, although I don't recall what his name was. Like a white face paint. It's like Ninja or something. I don't remember. Yeah, Rockers and Bad Company. Revisited. Very cool. Sean is about a year away from turning. I think that the following Royal Rumble in 92 would be one of his first appearances as the boy toy. So Sean is I mean, look at him here. I mean, even physically, he's starting to change. He's starting to mature. He's getting so much better in the ring. He's starting to stand out a little bit more than Marty. I feel like the groundwork's already being laid. Later on in this year, when Flair would come in, him and Sean would have a great match on like Primetime or something. Sean gave him like 20 minutes. Fucking awesome. All right, here we go. Hey, Miami Heat came into the NBA in 1988. I was close on that. I said 89. Yeah, where's Mike Witt? He should be loving this Bad Company and Midnight Rockers match. Oh, I didn't know Pat Tanaka used Goldberg's theme in WCW. I knew Goldberg's theme wasn't created for him, so I knew that was an already existing theme. But that's funny that, of all people, Tanaka used that. Which is funny because his WWE theme, WWE would just use for any Asian wrestler. It seemed like they would use that Orient Express theme, which is so funny to me. Let's just have one theme song for all of them. Jesus Christ, Vince. But I guarantee you that was his thought process. 100%. Oh, Timberwolves came in 89. That's right. And then I guess, a few years later, it would be the Grizzlies and the team up in Vancouver, or they were the Grizzlies. Vancouver Grizzlies and Memphis. No, Vancouver and... Oh, yeah, Vancouver must have moved to Memphis. And then there was a team that came in with Vancouver. Don't tell me. I want to try to think of it. Maybe it was the Hornets came in too around 88 or 89. Oh, it was Toronto. I bet it was Toronto and Vancouver, right? 2 Canadian teams came in at like maybe 95. Marty and Cato. I wonder if he's on the Cato diet. All right, let's take stock. Let's take roll call. We've got Joey Morella as the referee here. Everybody in this match, except for him and Mr. Fuji, I believe, is alive. Yeah, Gorillas fan, WCW had really memorable Japanese and Mexican themes for the wrestlers. A lot of luchadors, a lot of the Japanese wrestlers I liked. I liked Juventude's theme. I liked Rey Mysterio's theme. I liked, who was Sonny Ono managing? He kind of had an interesting one. I didn't mind. I think I even halfway liked like the Villanos and Super Colo and guys like that. I think I liked all their themes. They're recognizable. Chavo Guerrero. Okay, I was right. Yeah, 95. I think it was Grizzlies and Toronto, right? Yeah, Victor, it's going to be really interesting to see. We talked about that a lot yesterday on the podcast, but to see where WWE lies or lands, I do think Comcast and Disney are your most likely options. I was talking to Raj Giri and another gentleman, David, last night about this a little bit, and you know, Disney does seem to be like one of the front runners. And one thing I brought up, because Disney is so theme park related, they could. That's a lot of potential revenue for WWE in terms of some of the things Disney could create for them, especially a physical Hall of Fame. And I think with a Disney ownership, that would really make that possibility finally a reality, I think. But then on the other side of that coin, someone like Comcast already has 2 existing relationships with WWE on USA and Peacock. And as a fan, I'm not ready to, I don't want to see WWE leave the USA Network. It's been like that my whole life, except for that little 2-year stint with We Got Pop or whatever. Other than that, you know, I don't have a memory of WWE not on USA, you know? So just for nostalgia purposes, or, you know, it has a kind of a comforting effect, I think. I would like it to just stay on USA if possible, but it's going to be a good year, or a strange year. Maybe not a good year, but definitely an odd year. Oh, yeah. Does this Kato guy would nab the Max Moon gimmick from Conan? Maybe he did. I know Conan didn't keep it forever. He was the first Max Moon. I think it might have been him, actually. I think it was. I think you're right. We Are Pro Wrestling? Confirm that. Speaking of you, with the Disney purchases, Raw potentially moves to ABC and goes back to 2 hours. That's true. I think maybe SmackDown would go to ABC, and maybe Raw would go to whatever else Disney owns, FX. They also have ESPN. Maybe they could do PLEs on ESPN Plus. I read that yesterday as well on the podcast. Yeah, Jeff McMahon, Spike TV is the same thing as TNN. TNN changed to Spike TV. So I think they were there longer than 2 years. I think it was 5. But they started at TNN and then they moved into, because the TNN back in the day was the Nashville network, and it was like this country-ass network. And I'm like, Raw's going there? But then they tried to change their identity and not be so one-dimensional, and then they changed the name to kind of get away from that. And I never really found out what Pop was. Double noggin knocker there by Sean. High knee from Sean. Look at that. That's old school right there. You won't see a high knee in like 2023 unless it's a V trigger. But a good old Greg Valentine or Beefcake high knee like that, nobody does them anymore. Yeah, so confirmed, Paul Diamond would be Max Moon after Conan left. Confirmed. All right, we got nothing. Green Bay and Detroit have kicked off. I'm sorry, it's fucking 2nd and goal for Green Bay? Ah, son of a bitch. Hey, Aaron Rodgers, do you still have a ponytail? Do you still have long hair? This match is not going to end with a Sean Sleeper on Pat Tanaka. Kato's up there from behind. I mean, it is a good match to open with. These two teams know each other extremely well. Plus, they're super athletic, especially the Rockers. That's good. Good opening match. Babyface win. They did this at a lot of pay-per-views back in the day. Sean and Marty would open WrestleMania 7 as well, I believe. I think they opened against Haku and Barbarian and beat them. Good couple of guys to have open your show. Ooh, nice. And I'm pretty sure the previous year's Royal Rumble with Hogan and Warrior facing off in the match, I'm pretty sure that was in Orlando, right? With Shivani and Ventura on the call. So Orlando in 90 and Miami in 91. And I believe 92, the following year where Ric Flair would win it, I think was in Albany. Anybody ever been to Albany? Albany, New York? Oh, fuck. Did Green Bay score? Yes, they did. No, they didn't. Was that 3rd and goal or 4th and goal? They got to kick a field goal? Oh, good. Mason Crosby's about to chop one in for 3. At least we held him to a field goal. That's good. I just don't want Aaron Rodgers to have a good day. That's all I want. That's all I care about. How can you root for somebody who shoves horse dewormer up his ass? Not me. This building actually is really reminiscent of Orlando, too. Looks the same. Looks to be the same capacity. Wow. Double drop kick. I got to think about next week, Ray Friend. We've kind of already done Royal Rumble 2001 once, and we definitely did Royal Rumble 2002 last year. Or at least I think we did. I'm thinking 99, 2007, maybe even a 2004. I think we did an 03, didn't we? I don't want to do 05. That one sucked. Maybe 07. So 99, 07, I think we need to do. Maybe a 93. We haven't done 93 yet. We could get really boring and do 1995, although I did review that a couple years ago. It's funny, 99 is actually not one of my favorite Rumbles. That's why I keep putting it off, but I might have to stick it on a poll. By the way, I owe all the channel members a post on YouTube. It's going to be exclusive to you guys. I need you guys to start submitting your questions for the Q&A, which we're going to do Royal Rumble weekend. And you can submit them on that post. That way I see all of yours. Everybody else can send them to my email, goodmikework@gmail.com. But you guys, the channel members, I want you all in one spot because I want to make sure I get to all of you. So you'll have a post come up tonight or tomorrow. Just keep a lookout. You got like 3 weeks to send in a question, so it's not a big deal. No rush yet. But we're going to do it some point Royal Rumble weekend, maybe Friday night after SmackDown or something. And I'll take off the whole weekend for the pay-per-view, and we'll just rock the fuck out. That's my plan. Royal Rumble 96 would be interesting. That was a weird Royal Rumble. That was the very first pay-per-view I ever watched after moving away from home. I moved out just a couple months after high school in 1995, and January was the first pay-per-view I ordered in my new apartment. So that one has memories. All right, you guys are into 96. I might have to throw up a poll just for the members, let you guys pick it. Maybe I'll throw 90. See, 98 I hate. We Are Pro Wrestling. That's another one that I'm just not a fan of. I thought the Royal Rumble match was very boring. You knew 6 months ahead of time that Austin was going to win it. There was no doubt. He had no other contenders in that match other than him. It was kind of like 95. 98 and 95 are very similar to me because there was no one else. Shawn had, like, you knew it was going to be Shawn. There was, I mean, maybe Luger. Maybe in 95 you could have gone Luger, perhaps. But I still thought in 95 that it was Shawn by a mile. And in 98, it was the same thing. I would look at the field. I'm like, well, if it's not Austin, who is it? Rock wasn't ready. No, but there was no other contenders because in the company at that time, they didn't have a lot of top contenders. If you remember, Brett just left. Taker was already embroiled in his title program, so he wasn't even in the Royal Rumble. So it really only left Austin as your legit chance. The only other one that might have made sense was Owen, although Owen might have had another match that night. I don't remember, but it was clear when Owen came back, Vince was not going to be pushing him. So, but yeah, you guys are down with 96. I'll do 96. I have fond memories of it. Very kind of like deep, memorable time in my life. Like I really, really remember those years of 95, 96, 97 really, really well. Because I was just venturing into adulthood and just kind of finding my way. And I remember that time, you know. This is a long match. How many minutes have we gone here on this one? Got to be at least a 15-plus minute match here. Maybe a little more. I have noticed that a lot of wrestling fans like the band Alter Bridge. I know nothing about them. I know they've done a couple WWE songs. I just think of them as like whiny rock. Like a lot of those bands, to me anyway, I know I'm wrong about this, but to me they sound the same. But that style of rock, whatever that's considered, I just feel like they all sound like that. But that's just because I'm an old idiot man and don't listen to me. I'm sure they're fabulous, but it's not any album I'm going to be rushing out the store to buy. Come on, come on. Who is this, Marty? Or no, Shawn. Shawn's got the, I don't know what he's got, a trapezius or a nerve hold on him? I can't tell. Yeah, nerve hold. Oh, Victor, that's awesome. You'll be at the 30th anniversary on the 23rd? That's great. Lions are punting, it looks like. 3-0 Green Bay. Lions look good all in white, but it never seems like they win wearing this gear. I've always thought the Lions have had a really good uniform and logo. It's remained mostly unchanged their career. I think the one year they tried to play with it. But I've always liked it. When I was a kid, my aunt and uncle, my dad's brother and his wife, and they had 2 kids that were about my age, and so we were over there a lot playing with the cousins and stuff. This was back when I lived in Michigan. He lived right next door to Wayne Fonts, who was the coach of the Lions back when they made the playoffs and the NFC Championship back in like 92, lost to the Redskins. He won Coach of the Year that year, right next door to him. Come outside, wave to you, hang around. It was very cool. I'm like, holy shit, the Lions coach lives right there. But he did not last too many years in Detroit. But he had a couple of good seasons there. It's kind of hard not to when you're coaching Barry Sanders. Man, Shawn is on the... So Marty's going to hot tag in here, but this is a 20-minute match. No wonder this pay-per-view is 3 hours and 7 minutes long. The first match is an Iron Man match. Shawn with that really good bump. Oh, wow. That was really good. Shawn did the flip over bump in the corner, and then Tanaka super kicked him back in. Great sequence. Shawn selling his ass off here. Check out the hard cam kind of is a little askew. That's kind of funny. Shawn's still kicking out. Hard cam guy needs to straighten his shit out over there, doesn't he? Is anyone from the 1993 Raw still on WWE today? I'd have to look at the card. I don't remember. I know Yoko had a match on there. Damian Demento may have. Maybe Virgil. I don't recall even the card for that first show. But likely no. Definitely no announcers. Vince and Bobby and that other guy I think were on the call. I'm not sure if Macho Man. Maybe Macho Man was there. Maybe Bobby was dressed as a woman trying to get in. Kevin Dunn might be the only guy that was there. Oh, what do they got? Oh, the belt. Oh, that was a good spot. Good spot. They tried to use that belt to clothesline Shawn. He jumped in the middle of it, which brought them together in another noggin knocker. Creative spot. Quick thinking by HBK. Tag to Marty. Here he comes. Marty McFly is a house of fire. Cocaine is a hell of a drug. Big drop kick. Didn't land any of them, but they looked good. Power slam. Come on, Joey, get down there. My God, this match. All right, this is we're venturing into 20-minute territory here on this match. I think you could have gotten away with 12. Or even less on a match like this. Nice. Backslide. He doesn't have all of it. Nope. Kick out, Marty. No, that looked like shit. Get it together, guys. Come on. Never forget Nikolai's promo. Ha! Orient Express. This is the American Express, and don't leave home without it. But in Nikolai voice? Yeah, Gorilla, you always do say that. Turnaround is fair play, as I always say. Yes, Gorilla, you say that constantly. That is your slobber knocker. That's a better hard cam shot. That closer one is off-centered or something. Big double team splash here coming from the Rockers. Wow. I mean, the baby faces I know are going to win this, and they are still getting their ass kicked here. I mean, Rockers still need a comeback here unless they do a blind tag or something and score a quick one. Fourth and inches. Green Bay's going for it. They're trying to draw them off sides. They're just fronting. They're going to call timeout. Nope, they're going for it. Denied. Lions stopped them. Stopped them on 4th and inches. Yeah, and that's it. One with a sunset flip, and they're going to take over on the 30, on Green Bay's 30. Oh. Yeah, good point. This is a rematch from WrestleMania 6. That night, the Orient Express got the victory. Salted Marty right in his face. Count out. Victory. Rockers, you make me proud. Good opener, but fuck, that was long. Way longer than it needed to be. All right, good opening to the Rumble. Yeah, I watched that stop, man. Now they got the ball on about the 30, 32. Blue, 32. Oh, first down and more. First down and more. Oh, Macho promo. We got to watch the Macho promo. I got a commitment from Sergeant Slaughter. So I guess back in 1991, they're claiming that all you need is a commitment from the champion, and you're the number one contender. What's Jack Tunney for? Gonna beat the Ultimate Warrior. Oh, there she's going out right now. All right, so this is where she tries to, I don't know, seduce the Warrior or whatever she's trying to do to him. So Savage is trying to secure himself a championship match against either guy. That way, at the end of the match, he gets a title shot no matter what. Now, after this 25-minute opener, what are you doing out here cutting a promo? This is the Royal Rumble. 2nd and 10. Lions got nowhere on 3 tries. 3rd down and 10. Sherry with no makeup. She's got plenty of makeup on. It's all over her face. What are you talking about? Just not with crazy makeup. Please. I love that they got the split screen with Savage. Why isn't Savage out there with her? Okay. He'll come through with every promise. How come Sherry doesn't have her crown? Did she forget her stuff? Tied 3-3. Yeah, I see Lions chipping it in right now. Who's the Lions kicker these days? They had the same guy for like 20 years. I kind of think he's yellow myself. I mean, watching this back now, I mean, they're just telegraphing the hell out of what's going to happen in the main event, you know? Running this whole segment. I think it would have been more subtle if they would have done this whole thing they're about to do with Sherry and Warrior right now on TV instead of here. Warrior's like, I'm getting ready for my championship match. I don't have time for you. Here he comes. Well, he's probably not going to run because the stage is right there. He's going to walk. Here he comes. I mean, when does he ever wear a jacket? Oh, it's a USA jacket. Destrucity. All right, Warrior. Warrior with a fresh perm. Nice curls. A title shot. When I was a kid, I used to think Sherry Martel and Rick Martel were brother and sister. They do kind of look alike. But then once I thought about it, I realized, yeah, that makes no sense. Those great, big, beautiful hazel eyes. Oh, no. Sherry, I promise you, he's got a really shrunken, shriveled lower unit. You don't want none of him. Boy, she's willing to do a lot for the Macho Man, isn't she? You cannot undress me. This is sexual assault. Did Sherry just Me Too the Ultimate Warrior? I think she did. Ultimate Warrior should release a 4-page long iPhone notepad explanation of what happened and how he's traumatized for life due to Sherry's advances. Sherry, Gene, and Warrior. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. They're running through the lineup right now on the TV where they show the player saying what college they went to, and I always think of bad lip reading. I like a purple monkey. Ooh, Warrior likes that. I mean, look at him chompers on the Warrior. He could gnaw through a brick. I think Lex wore that jacket a few years later. Look at Sherry all hot and bothered. Oh. This is 1991, and we're on our knees here? The fans love it in the front row. Oh, shit. And Warrior's going like this. And he... Are we watching this? Look at his face. What is going on? No. Hogan had a promo just like this years ago with Mean Gene. Or maybe it was Craig DeGeorge when DiBiase wanted to buy the title. And he's like, no. Same thing. No. Except I think Hogan said, hell no. Dang. Put Sherry down. It is weird, though, why Warrior would go through all of that just to tell her no. When does a babyface, like, turn down a challenge? And Savage is throwing shit. And it's kind of a flimsy storyline, you know? Like, because they're going to use this as a way for Savage to interfere in that match because he got a promise from Slaughter, not from the Ultimate Warrior. So that means the only way he can get a championship match is if he faces Slaughter. But that's not necessarily true. And Savage is running now. I'm so mad. But from the Warrior's perspective, like, you would think the Warrior character would be like, I don't give a shit, Sherry. I'll face anybody. I'll beat everybody. I'm the greatest. I'm the champion. I beat Hogan in front of 60,000 people. Nobody can touch me. Fuck you. Like, that's what Warrior should say. I beat Savage before. I'll beat him again. And I beat the greatest star that's ever lived. I fear no man. So bring it on. That's what the Warrior should have said. But instead he goes, no. All right, here comes Barbarian. I can tell he's in the ring from the wide shot. Bobby Heenan. I never understood the antlers on Barbarian. That's what happens when Vince can get his hands on a good wrestler. I would have been perfectly fine with the Powers of Pain staying together the way they were. Even with Demolition and World Warriors coming in. Shout out to Ray Traylor. Look at the shape he is in. Look at him. He is a slim trim. I doubt he's under 300, but he's probably not that far over 300. I think he lost 100 pounds from 1988. When he was Big Bubba and he came in as the boss man in like 88, he was huge. He was close to 400. And I'd say he's close to 300 here. Boob. Yeah, Berserker also had no theme music back then. John Dennett, did I hear the rumor of Hogan giving Sherry one back in the day? Giving her a what? A little python? I don't want to know about that. Look at Piper putting over Boobsy. As much as I get on Boobsy's case, he's a very intelligent man. Well, Piper, you've also called him stupid before. Green Bay's on the move on their own, or on Detroit's 20. Oh, shit. Probably going to tack at least 3 more on here. 3rd and 5, though. Sack Rogers. Got him. Yeah. Oh, fumble. No, he's down. He's down. Okay. Rogers got sacked. Breaks my heart to see that. Poor Rogers. Hope he didn't get any dirt in his face or cleats up his ass. That would be a shame. Yeah, he was pretty lean in the Attitude Era, too. Like, basically, he got the weight off, kept it off. I don't recall, even when he went back to WCW, he might have gotten a little bigger in like 95, 96 when he was with them, but not like he was in the 80s. So he mostly did keep that weight off and looked largely the same from here on out. Good for him. 6'3" Packers. It'd be crazy if Detroit pulled out a winning season after how they started. Shout out to Mike Chioda with that ever slow growing mullet that he has. Took him out with an elbow. Another weird match here that I'm not sure we really necessarily need, but we're getting anyway. It ain't his haircut that turns him on. Like, I think you could have just scrapped this one on altogether, gone into the Rhodes family, and then the Warrior and Slaughter match. And then the Royal Rumble. That's all you needed. Barbarian into the post and steps. Ouch. Oh, Barbarian's a tough bastard too, man. Him and Haku made a pretty cool team. They would team in WCW also. But Barbarian was just still in such good shape here. And even here, I'd say he was, I don't know how old he was here in 91, but got to be pushing 40, if not over that. Wow. Now help me out. Would these guys be in the Dungeon of Doom together? Barbarian and Bubba at some point in WCW? Or was Bubba in the NWO? He might not have been in the Dungeon of Doom. Faces of Fear. There you go. Haku and Barbarian. Did he spit on Bobby? Damn. I guess the reason, now that I think about it, I guess the reason this Boss Man and Barbarian match is happening, because this would have been around the time where Boss Man was on the revenge trail for everything that Bobby Heenan said about his mama. And Rick Rude actually kicked that off after SummerSlam, but Rude left and went to WCW right in the middle of that whole affair. But he continued, Boss Man did the feud with the Heenan family, and he was running through all of the Heenan family members until he got to the champ, Mr. Perfect, at WrestleMania in a couple of months. So I guess that's why we have Barbarian and Boss Man here, but still a match you could have just done on TV. But whatever. Yeah, Boss Man being only 41 when he died would put him in his 20s here, which is crazy. Ooh, Boss Man tangled badly. I don't know if that was on purpose or not. He might have done that on purpose just to set up Heenan doing something. I want that Royal Rumble ring apron, and I'll do anything to get it. Can anybody find me that? I'm going to hang it. I guess the only place big enough to hold that would be outside of my house, maybe over the garage. Don't think it would fit in here. It might. Oh, yeah, it might. It might be 20 feet, that wall over there. Oh, Barbarian was only 32? Okay, I was thinking he was way older. I mean, he's in great shape. He looks 32, but I always just thought he looked good for his age. Okay, he's younger than I thought then. I was thinking he was like 40 here, and he kept wrestling. I mean, at this time, Heenan, who did he have left in his stable other than Perfect, Haku, and Barbarian? Who else was with him? Rude left. Ooh. He was no longer, well, shit, the funny thing is Heenan wasn't even with, oh yeah, Heenan would pass off Perfect soon. Heenan was winding down. This is the end of his managing days, because he would basically only be down to Mr. Perfect as the only person in his family, and he would pass him on to John Tolis. But I think he only managed like 3 people here. So the Heenan family wasn't much of a family. Oh, nice grab by Detroit. First down. Bossman was in the Dungeon of Doom in 96. Thank you. I thought so. Thank you, Roddy Piper, for explaining how a bear hug works. I would have much more respect for Piper if he said, this is what's called a rest hold, because these guys need to breathe. Squeeze him, says Bobby. I mean, Bossman, on top of his size, he did the same thing when he was Big Bubba, too. Had to wrestle in the most ridiculous shit. I would hate to have that strap over my chest. I'd be so uncomfortable. I'd be hot. Back to the bear hug. Well, if you're just tuning in, we are 45 minutes into the 1991 Royal Rumble. We have Big Boss Man and the Barbarian as Big Boss Man continues his quest to tear through the Heenan family so he can get to Mr. Perfect at WrestleMania. But there's only so much psychology we're going to get out of Ray Traylor and the Barbarian, so we would like this one to wrap up soon, if possible. Gorilla goes, Roddy, what would you do to get out of this? Pull out mace and spray him in the face? Yeah, thumb in the eye. That's what I do. Headbutt, big one. Jesus. Oof. He's kind of headbutting him with his cheek. Doesn't that hurt? Jeez, it hurts me to watch that. Oh, now he's going to bite his face. Amazing that wouldn't draw blood. Yeah, I think Bobby's a better manager first, but just turned out to be a great commentator. WWE would put all the commentators on, or all the managers on commentary every now and then. Jimmy Hart did it. Johnny Valiant did it. I think Oliver Humperdinck sat in on commentary a couple times. I don't think Fuji ever did. I don't think Slick ever did. Oof. Oh, $1 Million Man would be on commentary a lot. Same thing. When he was a non-wrestler. Honky Tonk Man would do commentary. Mr. Perfect would do commentary. When he was with Flair. Yeah, Barbarian had the ropes. Too bad, boss man. Head to head, both men are down. Let's just count them both out and move on. Double count out, the end. No, I don't think that either one of those guys are irresistible or immovable. Now the crowd is into it for this match, and it's another long one. I don't know how many minutes we're in here. It feels like a good 10. I don't know if Slick would be doing commentary on house shows, but he might have sat in. You might be right. I'm trying to remember an instance where I could hear Slick calling a match. There we go. Sidewalk slam, I think. Nope. I thought Bossman was going for the... That's usually one of his finishes is that... And then he's going to pin him? Barbarian. Huh. Yeah, okay. They're breaking down the playoffs here, but I can't tell what this means for the Lions. Oh! Terrible looking pile driver. It looked good to start, finished badly. Yo, Dan Price, what's going on, man? How are you? He is not going to roll through that. He is. That's going to be the finish. Yeah. Kind of a weird finish for two big men to do. That's kind of a small guy spot, but it worked. Bossman rolled through a high cross and pinned the Barbarian. Oh, okay. Lions were eliminated where the Seahawks won. Okay, I didn't even know that. Thank you. So now all we can really do is spoil Green Bay's fun. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with not making it in the playoffs because they're not ready for championships, but and Bossman kind of, or I'm sorry, Barbarian kind of helped him over on the pin there too. Whatever. I don't think we really needed that 15-minute match, but as my mom always says, it is what it is. And me and my family joke, anytime there's any sort of like somewhat disappointing news, same response every time. It is what it is. It's like she knows one reply. Oh, Lord, here is Slaughter and Adnan. General Adnan. Now, Sheik has not joined the group yet. Now, Slaughter would do the headdress at first like this, but then he would kind of look at that mug on Slaughter. Jesus Christ, is that not the ugliest dude you've ever seen? Good grief. Shut your hole. His chin looks like a watermelon fucked a durian fruit. But after the headdress, Slaughter would go to like the beret and the army fatigues and all that, or the Iraqi military garb or whatever he would wear. Crazy, man. Yeah, Sheiky Baby isn't there yet. They'd bring him in later, which was really bizarre when they changed his name. And it's like they, if I remember right, WWE kind of like hinted that he was the Iron Sheik. Obviously, everybody knew he was the Iron Sheik, but they weren't really, they didn't really focus on the fact that he's actually a former WWE champion. He's the guy who basically birthed Hulkamania by dropping the belt to him. And they didn't really mention that. They mentioned a little bit of magazines. They talked about the Sheik and his history in the magazines and the history of Slaughter even. But on commentary, it was very rarely mentioned. I mean, Sheik was probably only out of the company about 5 years at that point. But briefly came back in like 87. Wasn't there long. Or was there until 87. Briefly came back, but didn't stay long. So he's out of the company about 4 years. You are dismissed. This, oh, there's Warrior. Really predictable, kind of like WrestleMania 5. You knew Hogan was going to beat Savage, and you kind of saw the writing on the wall here, too. Warrior's the first guy I can remember changing the color on the belts. Now, the old IC title used to be green, but after that, everything was black until Warrior won the IC. He had like that yellow IC at WrestleMania, and he had a purple belt, a blue belt in WWE. Warrior and his snorts. What a nutbag. Jet the Hawk in the house. What's up, dude? Are those that are demented. Ultimate Warrior, I think you're demented. Okay, then. Gorillas like the views of Sergeant Slaughter do not reflect the views of the World Wrestling Federation. We know that. Oh, I thought we would do the Rhodes match next. This is now. Okay. This is it. Sergeant Slaughter, Ultimate Warrior, championship match. The good old Winged Eagle. I got the fake one right here and the real one right there. Or the toy over here. The toy's over here. I do need to get me a real AEW belt. I put that up only for decoration to hold me over until I just went on AEW's shop and bit the bullet and bought one, and I still haven't done it, and the company's been around for almost 4 years. Kind of need to get on that. I'll wait for the next sale. The drums, man. The drums. Dan Price, are you still in the chat? If you are, you've helped me with some stuff before, right? Some like graphic stuff. You've sent me some logos and whatnot. I've got like 2 t-shirt designs in my head that I want to get done and submit. So if you think you want to help me with that, or if there's any other graphics designers in the chat, hit me up in a DM over on the Twitters, and we'll chat. Otherwise, I'll contact some of the people that I've done business with before, and we'll get these done. But I got to get back on the merch train, and I finally have some ideas for shirts. Part of the reason I haven't added anything to Pro Wrestling Tees is because I just don't know what to add. I don't have any catchphrases. I don't have any, nothing like that. I don't know what the fuck I'm going to put on a T-shirt, but I have some ideas now. So I'm going to try to add a few this year prior to WrestleMania. Big double clothesline. Here we go. General Adnan is out. Warrior's a house of fire. And he's going to tear up the Iraqi flag. I mean, they were laying way too much groundwork here for Warrior and Savage at WrestleMania and Hogan and Slaughter. That's crazy. $7.99 for that thing? I'm willing to pay $400, but I'm not trying to pay $8 for something that's just going to sit in the background of it. I'm not going to take it to a show or anything. So, yeah, maybe I'll just keep the toy for now. Yeah, $800 is too much. I'm not going to pay that. Like, I got that classic IC for, I think, like $280 or something like that. I'm like, that's worth it. I'll spend $280. I'll spend $300. I'll even spend $400 if the belt's really nice. But I kind of draw the line there. You got to be smart, you know. Tell you what, if we get $400 in super chats for the rest of this video, I'll put up the other $400 and we'll order it right now here together online, and we'll have it for the next video. But other than that, I think I'll just wait until I find one at a garage sale in 35 years, if garage sales still are a thing. Every garage sale I've ever done, I've made a shitload of money. Put an ad in the paper. People are there fucking waiting outside your house, buying everything up. I've seen those bootleggy belts. I've seen them. I've been curious about them just for decorative purposes. But I've never really seen one up close. They look relatively legit or good enough to hang in a background, but I could do that. We have Sherry out there now. Very shiny. Let's call her Shiny Sherry. Where, oh, down goes Slaughter. She's grabbing the fucking leg. Security guard telling people to sit down. And she's gone. Oh, Savage attacks him here. I kind of forgot about that. Smart by Sherry. Now, does the referee not... Okay, so Slaughter is distracting the ref during all of this. And then Savage hightails it out of there. Does some damage to the Warrior. Nine to 3 now, Green Bay. They're replaying this Lions catch. I don't know if that was a rule to catch or not a catch. Should better have been ruled a catch because it looked like one to me. Slaughter really distracting Earl. Yeah, Slaughter doesn't want Warrior counted out. He's trying to be the champ. Warrior crawling his way back to the... Oh, Detroit just scored. There's a flag on the play. What happened? That's got to be on Detroit. You can tell. Holding. Offense. Of course. All right, back to action. Damn it, Green Bay. You got lucky. I saw no holding. There was no such hold. The referees are blind. It's all their fault. Lions would have won without them. You cannot win the championship on a countout. Thank you for clarifying the rules, Roderick Toombs. Yeah, that's right. This is the Royal Rumble where Rick Martel had the showing that he had. So great. Love Ricky Martel. Long overdue. Hall of Fame inductee. Would like to get him in this year. Hopefully somebody passes his name across Triple H's desk. I can't see why Triple H would deny that. Now, Lions, at least they're not going to get a first down. They're going to... No, they are. Look at that guy fight and run. First down, Lions. I don't know where the Macho Man came from. From his mama. I did see the CPR celebration. I'm not upset about that. I don't think that was meant to be distasteful. It was distasteful. It was really stupid to do a celebration like that on, of all weeks, this week. But I do think that's kind of a popular celebration. It's been done before. And I think we can chalk that up to being a stupid decision, not a malicious decision. So I'm not freaking out over the CPR celebration. They maybe should have thought that through, but they didn't. Maybe they briefly forgot about the situation overhanging the NFL right now. If what happened to Hamlin did not happen, and the Bengals and Bills completed their game and no CPR and cardiac arrest took place, I don't think anybody would care about that celebration. It was just bad timing, and it was, in light of what recently happened, is going to get backlash. But I just try to be reasonable. I don't think anybody meant, that wasn't an insult to Hamlin. If it was, then fuck them. But I don't think it was. If anything, Hamlin's injury has shown that no matter what our differences are, people really, really come together when somebody's fighting for their life. So I'm not going to pretend that doesn't exist anymore just because somebody made a stupid decision in the end zone of a celebration, you know? Just trying to be fair. Look behind you. He's just a double axe warrior. You can survive that. Oh, and do a bear hug. Haven't we had enough bear hugs on this show? Ooh, our Lions on the move again? Still on the move. What do we got? 2nd and 1 on the Green Bay 40-ish. Oh, Goff down. All right, you're all right. Yeah, exactly. Common celebration, but just terrible, you know. But, I mean, if you're a 22-year-old idiot, you might not be thinking like an adult. I know I wouldn't have been. I might have been caught up and wrapped up in the moment, and, you know, maybe, you know, before the game you say, hey, if we score, let's not do the CPR thing today. You know, yeah, maybe that's something that should have happened, but everything makes sense when you're, like, sitting at home on your couch. When you're in the field surrounded by 50,000 people, adrenaline's running, you know, maybe shit isn't penetrating the way it should. So I can at least kind of understand that. Yeah, a little reading the room would have been helpful in that situation. So, yeah, that's all they're guilty of, not reading the room. They're not malicious, hateful jerk-offs that were purposely poking fun at the situation that happened to that kid. That's not what they were doing. Those boots are so gnarly on Sarge. Those things used to scare the shit out of me. One of my favorite matches of my early wrestling watching days was Hulk Hogan against the Iron Sheik, the rematch. Not the match where Hogan won the title, the rematch that Sheik got. And it got bloody, and Sheik took off his shoe and used it on Hogan, and he was all busted up. And as a kid, that sold me on how dangerous those shoes were and those boots were. So when Slaughter started wearing them, I was like, oh shit, those things are back. That match against Sheik, too, was Hogan was wearing like blue trunks. It was really weird, but it was when he first won the title, and it first came in and hadn't really stuck to the yellow yet. He would wear red, he would wear blue, and he would wear white. But then he stuck to yellow around 86 and didn't, and stuck with it, or maybe 85. I think it was 86, though, was when the yellow kind of stayed around for good. Yeah, I saw all the money the charity's racking up that I think only had the initial goal of like $100,000 or something like that, and he's far surpassed that. And plus, stuff like that not only catches the attention of the regular public who can throw in $20, $50, $100, but it also, you know, attracts the attention of people with a lot of money and a lot of disposable income who can be very generous and throw $20,000 at you or whatever. So a lot of those donations coming in, and good for him. Good for him and his toy drive. All right, we've got a camel clutch here, but this should not even be a submittable move with Warrior's legs completely under the rope and hanging outside the ring. Okay, at least Earl knows that. I'm about to say, like, Warrior wouldn't even be able to submit there. It would be invalid. Invalid. You're not victorious, Slaughter, you dumbass. Look at him. He's like, bleh. I like when whenever in wrestling the wrestler has to pantomime their conflict with the referee. Yeah, Jericho threw in $10K. I would. If I had $30 million in the bank, I'd gladly give that kid $100,000. No problem. Clothesline to Slaughter. There it is. There's the classic Warrior shoulder tackle, which is another move that I really never understood the devastation of. And Sherry's back. Here she comes. I don't know if she's got the scepter. She does. She's got the scepter. The sugar glass scepter. Or I guess it could be made out of that thin glass, that shit that Christmas ornaments are made out of. Oh. Warriors got Sherry. Sherry is brave taking a bump like that, wearing a top like that. That could have gone very wrong for her and very good for the fans. Oh, he's going to press slam her? Oh, my goodness. Here comes Savage. He's going to toss her right into him. Earl watching that spot has been like, been there. Hogan did that to me once. Oh, and there we go. There's the knee. Warriors over the ropes in 619 position, and he's about to take the scepter in the face. In the face. Ugh, top of the head. Close enough. With the scepter. Right between the eyes. It wasn't between the eyes. And that's it. And now, isn't Earl suspicious of what the fuck happened? He drops an elbow. Look at Piper's like, nah, this ain't, not this, that isn't it. That's not what happened. Fans are not happy, but I think they're going to be happy before the night's over because it's going to click in their head. Light bulb. Hulk Hogan is going to go smash Sergeant Slaughter at WrestleMania. I think it legitimately did hurt Warrior. I mean, if there was, he might have gotten cut on his head. Bullshit. They're chanting. Thanks for the Twitter follows there. Niner Boy, Amanda Bassett, and somebody else. And Melanie, and Phalange, Regina Phalange, and Abbas Khan, all coming in followers today. Oh, my God. Slaughter with the purple belt. What a miscarriage of justice. I like that phrase, a miscarriage of justice. Classic. You're not going to let this happen, are you? I can't believe this. Piper's losing his mind. Piper, just hold on, buddy, because later on this year, Ric Flair's going to come in with a different belt, and you're really going to be pissed off. It took 3 of you. This is ridiculous. I think, I might be mistaken here, but I think they cut to a, do they cut to a interview with Hogan? Where there's letting you know so far in advance. Slaughter, you're going to have to deal with Hulkster now. And that is going to be a match you won't win. And it's funny that Savage never did get that title shot against Slaughter, did he? He helped Slaughter win because Slaughter was going to give him a shot, but I don't think that match happened unless it happened on the house show circuit. They were just doing it on the road, but I don't think they were. I don't recall ever seeing those two wrestle each other. Oh, look at there. So it's still coming. As of January of 91, it's still coming to the Memorial Coliseum in L.A. They have not moved it indoors yet. But Vince was thinking that Slaughter and Hogan would draw more than Hogan and Warrior. That's mind-blowing to me. But maybe Vince also didn't want to deal with the headache of having to deal with these ego maniacs and decide who to put over in that. Because are you really going to put a Warrior over a second time? And then if Warrior is going to balk at it, and 480, 32-32. California, here we come, just like this year. How cool is that? That woman, we got a Sue Ellen Mishke in the crowd there, wearing a bra as a top. Sue Ellen Mishke, come on. Heiress to the O. Henry fortune. You guys know her. Oh, is this Koko? Why is Koko out here? Why do I hear Koko's music? We don't have another one-on-one match, do we? I guess we do. Koko Beware. I don't even know what this is. I have no idea what I'm watching here. Koko Beware's in there, and he's wrestling somebody? Interesting how many matches they have on this undercard here. He's dancing. Oh, it's the Mountie. Hey, Piper. So Mountie must have just come in. Piper, you will get to know this guy very well in 1 year's time. At the very same event the following year, Piper would beat this Rougeau dude for the Intercontinental title. Jacques was actually really good, but this gimmick was absurd. So yeah, this was his first theme. Then he would move into that theme that he sung. And then when they would bring in Pierre and they would form the Quebecers, they would kind of like re-record the theme, but with the two of their voices, but it was kind of the same theme. Very weird. I remember not remembering Pierre's debut. I remember turning on Superstars or Challenge or something. I think it was actually Challenge. 1 week. And they were in an arena that on the back, like upper deck, there was like windows or something. That's what I remember about the arena. And that was the first, the Quebecers were just in the ring. And I'm like, when the hell did this happen? Why do we have two Mounties? And I don't recall any vignette. I don't recall any introduction unless I missed it, unless they were introduced on, I don't know, Heartbreak Hotel or whatever talk show they had at the time. King's Court or something. I don't remember Pierre debuting. I just remember turning on TV one day and boop, there he was. Might have been like late 93 or early 93, not 94. And I'm like, where the hell did they come from? Then they won the titles from the Steiners and crazy shit happened. They had a few runs with the tag titles, which is good for Jacques. But as a kid, I loved the tag team division in the 80s, and I used to have respect for the Rougeaus. I thought Jacques and Raymond were legit. Until they went heel, and they were all American boys. Yeah, after this match, we've got DiBiase and Virgil, and then we have the Royal Rumble. So, I mean, I guess this was the cool-off after Warrior dropping the belt, but still. 4th and 1 again here for Green Bay. Looks like they are in the Lions 40. 4th and 1. Stop them. Nope, they got it. All right, since the Mountie and Koko are having a thing, I'm going to go grab another beer. I'll be right back. All right. Koko knocks Jacques down. So I don't recall when the Mountie debuted, but I would imagine it was pretty recently. Two years later, I think it was, because this also kind of feels like an exit for... No, Koko would stick around. Never mind. He'd still be there for high energy and all that shit. But 2 years later, they would kind of do a match like this with Bam Bam Bigelow, who would just come in. And so they gave him a singles match on the Royal Rumble. against a departing Big Boss Man who was on his way out, just to kind of get him over and get him a big win on pay-per-view as close to his introduction. So I guess they're doing the same thing here with the Jockster. Yeah, Virgil's finally going to split with DiBiase here. Piper's going to have a lot to do with that. And he'll be involved in their WrestleMania match in a couple of months. Yeah, so it was summer of 93. That's when I turned on the TV and just saw them one day. I'm like, where the hell, when did this happen? I mean, I knew Mountie was kind of gone from TV. I just assumed he left. I didn't know where he was. I had no idea they were repackaging him, or not repackaging him, but rehashing him in a tag team. I'm like, now we got two of these guys? They say the plan was to turn Tugboat heel. I'm glad that they didn't. But that was Vince's formula, you know. He had done that before. Everybody that Hogan had been friends with, Orndorff, Andre, Savage, they turn on him, and then he feuds with him, and that was just a stale concept for that one particular wrestler that's just been done to death. And Hogan previously had much closer, you know, friendships than Tugboat. Plus, the name was absurd, Tugboat. And I think if Tugboat would have turned heel on... Oh, look at Jimmy Hart talking shit to Frankie. Fucking cursing Frankie out. So I think if they would have turned Tugboat heel, I mean, the fans, yeah, they would have been maybe a little shocked, but it wouldn't have been like, I can't believe what happened. So what? Tugboat turned heel. Who cares? Even in WCW, that shit would carry over. What was the very first thing WCW did with Hogan? What was this? Who did he face at Starrcade? I rest my case. Eric's like, oh, I'll take that formula. Brother Brudeye is going to turn on Hulk, like we've seen 6 other times in the other company. WWF champion Tugboat. Could you imagine that sight? I mean, we shouldn't shit on Tugboat. I mean, Uncle Fred, for a big guy, had a really big barrel chest, the shit Vince kind of likes. I mean, for a big guy, I think a winged eagle. I mean, in a better outfit on Tugboat. You put something a little more menacing on him, grow him some facial hair. Try to take the innocent look away from him and make him a killer. Make him Yoko. I'd entertain the idea. I'd see what it looked like. I'd give it a shot. What is he doing? What did Mountie just do? It did look like he was goose-stepping. Thank you, Piper, for saying that. I wasn't sure if I wasn't looking all the way or if I saw that in my peripherals. Fumble, Lions ball. Oh, yeah, who's this guy? Fumbled it. Fumbled it on the tackle. Ball's out. Lions recover. Pile driver on Koko. I'm trying to think if we had any Koko and Jacques matches previously. It would have had to have been a tag when Jacques was with Raymond as the Rougeos. It's possible when they were all baby faces in 87, they could have teamed up in a 6-man. Could have wrestled against each other, opposite each other in a tag, probably in 88 or 89. But this has got to be one of the only... I mean, other than outside of WWE, it's possible they've met down south or in Canada or something. But in WWE, I don't recall run-ins between these two guys. You know, I think Uncle Fred had a better look, but Earthquake was better in the ring. Earthquake did not have a good look. He was like 27 years old. He looked like he was 50. But he could move and shit. He could drop great elbows. He had a great power slam. He could sell. I think he was slightly better in the ring than the Tugster. But I think Tug repackaged and prettied up, dress him in something that Kevin Nash would wear, put him in, like, give him some black and chrome, or I don't know, something like that. Might pull something off. Oh, just look like a beefier, you know, pudgier Ted Arcidi or something. I don't know. You know, if you're a wrestler, the idea of house shows going away for WWE probably isn't that. Maybe some don't care, but some do. Those interested in perfecting their craft and whatnot. But given all the money the company brings in, as it is, how much, you know, do they make off that house shows per year, you know, to really make it worth keep doing it? I don't know. It's up to them. And that's it. All right. Don't worry, Hot Rod. You'll get your shot at the Mountie next year. It's coming, brother. I forgot about this early Mountie theme. Yeah, everybody's complaining about Charlotte getting the title on SmackDown when Becky Lynch literally did the same thing, even worse, taking more time off than Charlotte did and coming back and beating Bianca Belair of all people. I think it was worse than what Charlotte did. Macho. Look at Sherry. Oh, Warrior's coming in. I was about to say, I think Savage has to get out of town. He's out the back door. Mooney, no one should be standing between Warrior and Savage. Well, then why are you? Piper, close your legs, bro. Same basic instinct. All right, Lions on the move. He is so mad. Piper is so pissed. I like how Gorilla wears his headset compared to Piper. Piper's jean jacket is something else. Look at that cute, adorable little lamp over the telephone on the announce desk. You guys see that? That's so cute. That little phone. Who are they going to call, Vince? Oh, here we are with the new champ. You look terrible in purple, Sarge. I just got to hate to break it to you. It doesn't really set off your tan. Shut your hole, puke. Shouldn't it be shut your puke hole? I do remember being pretty angry about this. I did not like Slaughter. I did not like this gimmick. I did not... With the stars that they already had there, I was surprised they were bringing this guy in and giving him the title. I understood why, you know, to give Hogan a heel, but I was okay with Warrior as champ. I wasn't, like, itching to get back to Hogan by any means. And my disgust with Slaughter wasn't because of what he was saying. I gave no shits about how he was shitting on America. Didn't care. It was that I just didn't like him as a wrestler. He looks like a balding anchor man of a bowling team. Like, I don't get why this guy should be WWE champion. And if Hogan is going to go into WrestleMania to face somebody and beat, shouldn't it be somebody the fans are at least curious might be able to beat him? I mean, once you do Andre, it's hard to top that. But after that, anybody that, you know, he faced, you figured he'd beat until he ran into the Warrior. So the Warrior would have been the only guy to really make the most sense for WrestleMania. But Vince wanted to go back to his cash cow and see if he can squeeze a few more nickels out of the Hulkamania machine. Piper is about to lose his... Stick it in your nose. Stick it in your dick hole. Gorilla calling him the ultimate puke. I don't know why in the 80s it was so common to end every sentence with baby. Sometimes Jim Neidhart would just end one word with baby. Yeah, baby. First down Lions and more. And more. Gain of 20. Look to be. Okay, we're going to get messages from our brave men and women, all hopefully retired now. Oh, these are from the fans. I thought we were going to hear from the troops. I'd rather hear it from them, to be honest. Okay.
We want you guys to know that we're all behind you 100%. We want you to come home soon. We love you.
Yeah.
Get it over with. Kick butt.
Get it over.
Come back safe.
Kick butt and come back safe.
All behind you. Come back home safe and sound.
Don't look at the microphone when you talk to it.
I'd like to say hurry back home and get rid of those guys over there and get over here as soon as you can because we miss you, all right?
Let's get rid of those guys over there.
All the brave men and women in Saudi Arabia, we really appreciate what you're doing and we back you 100% and we hope you all come home safe.
The United States is going to win, whether they want to or not.
Saudi Arabia, all the guys and the gals, and we're wishing you the best and hope that you come home real soon. We love you all.
Okay, you've been the best one.
Andrew from Hollywood. I wish you guys in Saudi Arabia good luck.
Hi, Gloria Blackburn from Titusville, Florida, and I want to wish
Titusville, Florida.
the best of luck over there.
He goes, I'm so-and-so from Hollywood, and I'd like to wish you the best in Saudi Arabia. That made no sense.
Go there and get the job done and hurry up home. Come back to your families.
God, they interview the worst people.
I wish you the very best, okay?
Okay.
Be careful out there.
Okay.
Hi, I'm just supporting all the soldiers and everybody else over in Saudi Arabia and hope they all come back safe.
Every one of these people can be significantly made fun of. Except for that old lady. She was kind of cool. One of the guys over there is Road Dogg. True dat. I promise if I get out of here alive, I will dedicate my life to having the most dog shit opinions in the whole world. I think it went something like that. They're already dropping Hogan. Like, Hogan, come to our rescue. Oh, they're sending Hogan over to over there to visit the troops. I do remember some of those videos of him doing that. I always thought he was just going visiting the injured troops and stuff, but
There are 29 men that think they are ready for the Royal Rumble, but yet there is only one snake that is absolutely sure what he's got to do. You see, I see a lot of men sweating.
Mm-hmm.
I'm cold, brother. Ice water run through the veins. You see, Rick Martel, I know what I got to do.
he's going after Rick Martel. Is this after the eye squirt, right? 90 and 91 are fun Rumbles, but they're formulaic. And they're both the same match, which is what is a little annoying. The only thing that's odd about and different about 90 was we had the epic Hogan and Warrior thing. But other than that, this is largely the same match 2 years in a row. I'm not sure when Kerry Von Erich headed out of WWE, but I'm pretty sure it was 91. Late 91, I think he was gone. Kerry Von Erich would take his own life 2 years after this, in early 93. Still with Paul Bearer, or still with Brother Love. Early Undertaker, check that out. Dude is 2 months old. Rest in peace. I'm a tattooless ginger. Hacksaw's in great shape. What a stud. Don't break into his house. You know, Rick, you could really use a little more baby oil. I mean, if you just had a little more. When I throw everybody over the top rope. A bow tie is something else. He's in such good shape. Bulldog. Bulldog's like, let me keep this short and sweet if that's okay. With all those matches on the undercard, how did Kurt Hennig escape not defending his title? Oh, there's Tuggers. Yeah, I guess I'm glad that those plans didn't happen. He had just the meatiest arms. But the he thing is stupid. You look like a tugboat. Like, is that what really Vince said? This genius that must absolutely be present for the sale of the company. Nobody other than his brain can get this done. The guy that thought that his name should be Tugboat. Dustin Rhodes. Oh, spilled the beans on the lunch date with Virgil. A day date. Not going to get any nookie on a day date. We walked to our cars. What happened at the car? What happened at the door?
$1 Million Man, tonight you will be facing the father and son tag team of Dusty and Dustin Rhodes. Now, this is a team linked by blood, and I would say that is a very
linked by blood.
But we have yet to see yourself and Virgil as a tag team. How do you think your bodyguard is going to fare tonight in the ring? I'll tell you, little man.
I've talked about Virgil before. When he was first with DiBiase, when DiBiase came in, he was feared. But then he became like a joke. He got his ass kicked in every confrontation. But he was badass at first. And they're telegraphing the hell out of this, too. DiBiase's been abusing Virgil. I mean, just shitting on him literally for weeks. So this was getting extremely obvious. Virgil and Piper having lunch. You kind of knew where they were going here. One of my favorite things ever that Piper did was when he went to WCW and he showed up there and he was feuding with the NWO, and in the NWO was Virgil. And he just like pushes him and he goes, "Back off. I taught you how to fight." Just so cool. There's a little subtle little drop right there, and that's all he said. But longtime fans know that story. DiBiase, or I'm sorry, Dusty. This is it for him. Pretty underwhelming run in the WWE. A couple of matches he had in the WWF in the 70s were way better than anything he did here. But it's still sad that this is his end. But it gave us a good little glimpse of Dustin, and he would go off and be the natural in WCW. And then he'd come back. We are in, what, January of 91 here, so I would say 4.5 years later, 4 years, 8 months later, Gold Dust would arrive. I remember when Dustin, after the that blacktop brawl match, or what the fuck it was, on Uncensored, that got him and Blacktop Bully, I think, fired, or at least got him fired. You knew he was heading to WWE. So the reports were running rampant about what Dustin was going to do. And I remember one of the things I read was that when Dustin got to the WWF later this year, he was going to be known as the Gunslinger. And he was, I think they were going to kind of dress him like maybe how one of the Smoking Guns looked or something. I'm like, we already got a tag team that has that. And then you started hearing rumors it was going to be something Dusty related, and you started hearing the word Dust. I remember hearing Silver Dust, and then when Gold Dust kind of came out, you were like, oh God, you had no idea what it was going to really be until you saw the vignettes, and then you're like, oh. Because the early vignettes weren't even Dustin yet. The early vignettes were just, I think, like the word Gold Dust written in gold, and with Gold Dust, it's like, coming soon, Howard Finkel's voice, Gold Dust, and that was it. So when that vignette happened, I'm like, there's Dustin. But you didn't know what he was going to look like until you finally saw him, and you're like, oh, God. Yeah. I don't know. You guys can look it up, how old Dustin was here. I'd probably guess late 20s or something. I don't know if Cody is at this show. Cody must have been pretty little. Yeah, Dusty and Dustin finally coming back together and reconciling in WCW. I'm glad that it was able to happen for them. Oof. Ted's giving him shit. 21. Jesus, he was younger than I thought. Shoulder tackle. Down he goes. Oof, over goes Virgil. So, look at Dustin. It was funny, too, when Dustin he did a couple of interviews in WWE, I think leading up to this match and stuff. And so I guess the idea was when he came in was to literally be as close to Dusty Rhodes as he could. And his promos were really, really heavy in the Dusty accent. And Dustin's got an accent, don't get me wrong, but he doesn't have a Dusty voice. And he was doing it. But I guess that's what they were kind of going with at first. But, I mean, they do look incredibly alike. I mean, their body style is different. Obviously, Dustin's taller and leaner, but the hair and the face is pretty damn close. But it's got to be hard for a son to try to emulate his dad. Is that really what you want to be doing? I think Dustin would realize that himself, and he'd go in a extremely crazy direction. But think about David Sammartino and Greg Gagne. You know, they were not exactly like their dads at all, but they were enough like their dads to make fans realize that they are nothing like their dads, or is not as good as their dad, excuse me. Especially when they're, you know, the protege or the mentor or the mentoree of their dad. It's impossible to fill those shoes. So you have other wrestlers that don't want to be associated with their father's name at all. I don't know what direction I would go in. I guess it just depends on who my dad is. You know, sometimes you want to make the family a story, you know, with Randy Orton and the Harts and guys like that, and sometimes you want to not say anything. Nobody made a big deal about Bo Dallas and Bray Wyatt being the son of IRS. They didn't come in as little tax gimmicks with the suspenders and all that, you know. Oh. So this would be, I guess, yeah, because DiBiase would retire. This should be, unless there is some live event matches, which there probably is. This is going to be our only match with DiBiase and Dustin in the same ring ever. Like I said, unless it happened on the live events. And I wouldn't be surprised if it happened on the holiday tour and shit like that, if they were doing the same exact match on the house shows or something. But, or maybe even Dustin and DiBiase one-on-one, and they would work one-on-one. They worked one-on-one on TV. It's like a time limit match. So they had a couple of matches together, which is good for Dustin. Got to work DiBiase tail end of his career and the beginning of his own. Sleeper by Dusty. Virgil makes the save. Yeah, John, I'm like you. I like the older ones, too, because I remember a lot about them. Virgil makes a save again. Oh, my God, saving his master. I wouldn't go that far. Yeah, Dusty kind of... He shed the polka dots, I think, after Sapphire left him. He changed his gimmick up right after that on TV, so it would have been after SummerSlam in 90. I know, like, the first Brother Love show after that or whatever he was doing, he was wearing that hat with the horns on it or whatever, and kind of a cape. He was wearing a cape, and the polka dots were gone. So that whole chapter was shed. His heart was broken. Sapphire sold out. The only thing that sucks is that Sapphire didn't stick around, because if they would have kept her as a heel and kept her at ringside and shit, that would have been interesting. Nice. Irish coffee for Victor Colon. I'll whip some of those up every now and then at the restaurant. We got a good one. It's not that good. We got really good coffee, and we'll just put Jameson in it. Little whipped cream. I don't do the creme de menthe on mine. Right, how easy. I was saying the same thing. I'm like, Gorilla, do you want to be saying that? Other than, if you're going by what they were doing on TV, though, Ted DiBiase was being an evil son of a bitch, too. So that's kind of interesting. You notice Dustin, it looks like he's wrestling in actual cowboy boots and not wrestling boots, unless those are wrestling boots designed to look like cowboy boots. But they do not appear to have laces on them. And they don't even appear to be like the Shawn boots, the kind of strap on the side. Like, they look like full-on boots that a cowboy would wear. A really flamboyant cowboy. Somebody buy Dustin some boots. Don't you know Wrestlers Are Us. Aisle 5. Boots. All right, 9-6 Green Bay. Come on, Detroit. Ruin the party. See, I don't even drink coffee, so I don't know. I don't have a preference between an Irish coffee. I don't think I would like a Bailey's in coffee. I might like a Becky in coffee, maybe a Sasha in coffee, but I don't know how I feel about a Bailey's in coffee. A little too creamy for me. I'd probably be more prone to drink a Kahlua in coffee over a Bailey's in coffee. But I think maybe like an Irish coffee or a Jameson coffee or a hot toddy or some shit like that. Oh, down. Oh, there was a miscue as the sweat flew. Virgil said, I'm sorry. Up, DiBiase's mad. Oh, and he's beating him up. He's actually off, like going off on his own partner. Jeez. Just an accident there, Ted. I'm pretty sure DiBiase and Virgil win this. You know, it doesn't look like they're going to at this point. DiBiase got about as close as you can get. Oh, and he did get him. Rolled up DiBiase for the rolled up Dusty for the win. DiBiase did get announced as the new champion in front of the biggest wrestling audience, television audience of all time, and he got to wear the winged eagle on the first night that it existed. So that's, if he couldn't be WWF champion, he still got to feel that, and that's probably pretty cool. Always gets his way. Now he wants the microphone so he can shit on Virgil. I'm loving the tweet. Thank you for that. Who tagged me in that? Nick. I've seen that tweet around a lot today. People joking now that the Jaguars are in the playoffs. If they win the Super Bowl, WWE's going to have to send Tony Khan a championship belt. But I think we're a ways off. Let's hold off. I don't think that's a likely possibility, but you never know. But that would be funny. Alanis Morissette wrote a song about it. Can't remember what it's called. You idiot. Do I think DiBiase should have won the WWF title? Yes, I think he should have been a transitional champion because we've seen that before. Iron Sheik was a transitional champion. Sergeant Slaughter was a transitional champion. And if so they wanted to move the belt from one babyface to another, you need that transition. So they should have had DiBiase beat Hogan somehow, or Andre beat Hogan somehow. But then Andre would have been the transitional champion, which would have also been fine. Put the belt on DiBiase. He cheats somehow. But they wanted to do the tournament. They wanted to keep Hogan in the mix. And I guess doing the tournament still gives the fans the impression Hogan could win instead of just booking Savage and DiBiase in the main event flat. So I get that. Plus, you need a way to get Savage to the title in that short amount of time until WrestleMania, and he is feuding for the IC. So how would he get that title shot? Tournament made sense, but I still think DiBiase winning the title and holding it for like 3 months would have been fine and kind of cool. I like DiBiase far better than Slaughter. He's demanding that Virgil puts this title around his waist. Drops it right on the ground. Fuck you, DiBiase. Piper. Yes. Talking about his mother. So basically he's doing all this just for the good of his family. Piper's trying to talk some sense into him. Down he goes. Oh, so sad. Boom. Right in the face. Look at the pop for Virgil. The pop for Virgil. Sue Ellen Mishke loves it. A couple of 90-year-olds in the front row who would be 123 today. Love it. Mean Gene. What's he got to say? Oh, here's the Hogan interview. I knew we were going to get this. At that point, Vince wouldn't put a heel as champ until Slaughter. Sure he would. I just mentioned one. Sheik. Mm-hmm. And back in the day, too, Ivan Koloff was a transitional champion. So was Stan Stasiak, was also a transitional champion. He got the belt maybe from Backlund to Pedro, or Bruno to Pedro, which was also done with Bruno previously. So Bruno and Hogan and Hogan a couple times had a transitional champion on their way to the title. Wasn't that rare? Good grief! Mean Gene has just gotten some exclusive information in his ear. Sergeant Slaughter has just defaced the American flag. And Hogan goes, "No, don't tell me. Oh my gosh, of all the things you can do, the worst thing you can do is to deface a piece of fabric made in China." God forbid, don't do that. Vince loved tapping into these over-patriotic feelings. Hogan really bent out of shape. I do not care or get offended by anything like that. Remember when Jericho kicked that Brazilian flag around the ring and he had to like threaten to be arrested or something? I'm like, kick a flag around. I don't care. Do whatever you want. Get a big good mic work flag, put it on the ground, kick it around. Yeah, whatever country, kick it. Don't care. Not offended. Don't give a shit. Could care fuck less. Number 1 for Brett. He's going to go all the way and win this thing. Watch. I kind of forget who number 2 is. I don't remember. I have no idea who number 2 is. Could be anybody. It's got to be a heel. It's not going to be Davey. Oh, Dino? So Brett is getting real close to his singles run here. He's got to go drop those tags at Mania, and then he's heading into SummerSlam. Dino Bravo. I remember Dino Bravo was a brunette. Yeah, Sean humped the Canadian flag. That was hysterical. And I love Canada. I love America. But if you want to pick your nose with our flag, I don't care. Have at it. Knock yourself out. Brett, way too quick for Dino. And Dino is out. Nope, not yet. Neither guy's winning this, says Gorilla. Look at how about a real young Shane McMahon as an outside referee? That's kind of cool. I do like that Gorilla was kind of laying the groundwork for whenever WWE did inevitably have someone win at either number one or a really low number. The first few Royal Rumbles, he said that he delivered that same line. Neither one of these guys, Brain, can win this event. And so next year, Flair would come in at number 3, and Gorilla would be proven wrong. Juliet talked all about the Money in the Bank pay-per-view heading to London yesterday on the podcast. I love it. And I think a one-night cash-in is very likely for a crowd like that. I think at the very least, we're going to get some really exciting winners. And at the most, we're going to get a cash-in on top of it. I'm not always a fan of one-night cash-ins. I don't really need them for Money in the Bank. But if you're in a venue like the O2, I'd do it. Oh, the Dream Team reunited. This is great. Do we remember that these guys were tag team partners? Probably not. And he attacked Dino. Look at that. Well, I guess Valentine was a babyface by this point. Look at Bravo, former friends. Get Luscious Johnny out there. Get Beefcake out there. Beefcake was nursing his injury at this time. Oh, there's Jimmy Hart. So Valentine was in the middle of the heel turn. Or the face turn. Oh, no, don't eliminate Greg already. When I used to be a really good bowler back in the day, amateur, semi-pro bowler, pretty goddamn good. I carried an average of over 200 for many, many years. And there was many different kinds of bowling balls. I had several. I had tons of balls. One of my balls that I was using at the time was the brand Hammer. It was a spare ball. It was just one I used hard and straight at the 10 pin if I needed it. And it had like the Hammer logo. And so I got the Hammer bag to carry some of my gear in. And they called me Greg the Hammer. And it fit. Yeah, Hart is waiting in the wings. Dino is out, by the way. Inverter to Greg. Down he goes. One half of a WrestleMania 5 rematch here. Honky and Hammer took on the Harts. Dream Team was Beefcake and Valentine, but Beefcake got booted out and replaced with Dino Bravo as technically the new Dream Team. That all happened at WrestleMania 3, actually. That was the night Beefcake turned babyface and helped Piper shave Adrian Adonis' head after being betrayed and left in the ring after a win over the Rougeaus, I think. And that's when Bravo came in and they kind of abandoned Beefcake. And there was already dissension. They were playing it up on TV for a couple of weeks. And then it all came to a head at Mania. But then after that, Greg and Dino ran as the Dream Team, the new Dream Team for a while until they split them off. Oh, imagine Pete Dunne. I would like a European wrestler to win the Money in the Bank. That would be fucking great if they could do that. A Pete Dunne. Yeah, we're going to hit WrestleMania 3 this year, Victor. Oh, Lions took the lead. They just scored? Nice. Oh, yeah, I see it. Touchdown. Oh, no. There it is. Now it's touchdown. Maybe 14-9 game here, I guess. Maybe you go for 2. You go for 2? Make it 16-9? Or no, I guess it would be 14-9. Oh, yeah, I can't add today. Sorry. I guess it doesn't matter. I guess you go for 1 here. That way you don't risk a field goal tying it. So we got a lot of half tag teams in there. We got one half of the Young Stallions. Oh, my God. What a right hand by Brett. These guys are no stranger. Paul Roma and Jimmy Powers actually own a non-title victory over Brett and Jim for the tag titles. And that would culminate with a tag team title match on my favorite my favorite Saturday Night's Main Event of all time in '87 with the Stallies and the Hearts. And here comes the Tornado. Big discus punch from Kerry. Yo, AJ Daniels, how are you doing? I should do Victory Road 2011. I like to keep all of the watch-alongs confined to Peacock because that's how most of us can watch. Not everybody has Peacock, but I think most people do. Wherever we would watch Victory Road, not everyone's going to have that. Unless it's on YouTube for free, then it would be easy. But isn't that the Jeff Hardy one? Do we want to watch that? Hammer in the Tornado. Royal Rumble 2015. Hell no, Chase. Yeah, maybe we'll hit up a TNA one day, especially if they're on YouTube for free. I think everybody can log on to YouTube and get there. But if you don't have premium and it's a pay-per-view that's like loaded with a shitload of ads, that could also be a problem. So I think we should just keep it to the cock for now because we have an endless stream of amazing pay-per-views we can get to and watch before we start opening the TNA box. We probably should do an ECW show or something that's available on Peacock as well. We're overdue for that. Might be a good members-only one. Here comes the model. Now, he's going to stick around. Here we go with the tag teams. Here comes half a Strike Force. And I guess him and Gorilla didn't really have a tag team name. Thunder Force. Victory Road, AJ. 2009, Sharmell and Jenna. Jenna who? Martel and Romeo. Oh, yeah, Hardcore Justice in 2010. Kind of a reunion show. We're going to have Shane Douglas in this match, I believe. Yeah, I don't think they're going to be really putting that Jeff Hardy stuff on YouTube in its entirety. It's probably not something that they want to call back to. Sucks for the people on the undercard, though, who might have their match a little bit less remembered now. Oh, Roma taking out Martel. Prance this. Model is on the brink already. Saba Simba. So stupid. They didn't want to say nothing. I don't recall when he debuted. I don't know if this was his first match. He's not getting much of a reaction here. And I know there's at least one time when he came out on TV, Piper called it out. He was doing commentary. He goes, who are they trying to fool here? This is Tony Atlas. So maybe they realized how dumb it was to put him in this gimmick and how racist it seemed to make Vince seem. So stupid. Saba Simba. You got Saba Simba in the ring, and you got Simba refereeing on the outside of the ring. That's a first. But when he would come out for the matches, he'd have a crazy ass headdress on. Yeah, I've seen that video of Saba getting punched in the face by some woman. I don't know what's going on there. Yeah, it's the same thing with the Dragon. It's like when the Dragon came back, when Ricky Steamboat came back in as the fire breather, it's like they were pretending he wasn't Ricky Steamboat. I mean, the announcers I know made mention of it a couple times, that he was a veteran and, and maybe even that he'd been in the company before, but I don't even recall them referencing his Intercontinental title run or anything like that. And he wasn't a contender to any degree for any title. I mean, if Ricky Steamboat, when he was in there in 91, why couldn't he have just been Ricky Steamboat? Imagine Ricky and Brett after Brett won the title. Ricky and Brett only worked one time in the Boston Garden. Butch, here he comes. Wait till the cousin comes out. They were over. The whole damn crowd's doing that. There ain't no sheep to herd here. Now we are just marching. There goes. Nope, just one of them. Saba Simba is out. That's good. Go back to the back. Come back out as Tony Atlas. Slick is out there. Was Slick with the model at this time still? I know he was at one point. He might also be with Roma. But he might just be with Martel. I don't know who Slick is backing up here. Oh, yeah, he's definitely backing up Roma because Roma's Power and Glory. So he might not be with Martel anymore. But I swear that Martel was with Slick for a short time. I think it's Bushwhacker Luke whose birthday it is, not Butch. So Luke will be out in a minute. The Impact Wrestling app has the pay-per-view of Ric Flair's final match on there. That's cool. A tale of two chats. Impact right now. Not great. Impact's decent. Here comes Jake. Wow, Martel survives this and goes on to stay in the Rumble forever. Jake going at it with those punches. Going for the DDT already. Oh, nope. Stomach breaker. It's going to be hard to DDT him. He's got so much damn oil on him, he could slide right out. Oh, did this? I did not know this happened on a Saturday. Probably because of all of the NFL going on at the time. They're probably in a big, if you look up the date, I wouldn't be surprised if that next day was your championship Sunday or something like that. How much you want to bet? Or maybe the next day was the Super Bowl, better yet. That's possible as well. But I think if it was, they would mention it. They wouldn't probably shut up about tomorrow's Super Bowl. So it's probably not that. Look at Shane counting. I always love the storyline they would do in the Attitude Era where Shane had to be a lowly referee. I'm like, do you have to call him lowly? Is he really a lowly referee? Is referee really the bottom of the barrel in life where you can be? I don't even think it's the bottom of the barrel in the WWE. You're in the ring witnessing some incredible moments with your own eyes, as close as you can possibly be. Best seat in the house. You're trusted by dozens of wrestlers. Some wrestlers even request you to be with them in their biggest matches. How in the hell is that lowly? I'd rather be a lowly referee than a porta potty manufacturer. Packers scored. We probably let them score to make the game interesting. Yeah, that's probably what Lions did there. That's their strategy. Make it fun for the fans. They're good people in Detroit, unlike the evil serial killing rapists in Green Bay. It's not my fault. It's true. Although in reality, that statement is probably really opposite. Because Detroit is gnarly. Hercules, they did enough with Herc, I think. He went about as far as he was going to go. Hercules was awesome. He still had some big matches. I mean, he had a couple of big years there when he cut his hair and got rid of that goofy ass shit he was wearing, and he kind of just went with the chain in the WWF. I mean, he had some big matches, and he worked with all the top guys. He was in the main event of a couple of those Survivor Series matches. Big match with Billy Jack at WrestleMania that got a lot of attention. The storyline that turned him babyface was a lot of fun. I think he cooled off when he went babyface, but the storyline that got him there with Bobby Heenan selling him to DiBiase was pretty funny. But I do wish Herc was there a little longer and did some more stuff. Here comes Tito. He's going to go right for Rick Martel. Yep, there they go. You knew that. No doubt about that one. It's like Tito looks like the tag team partner who can't let go, like he's still wearing the shit. He was already kind of wearing the white a little bit, but he was wearing mostly blue and stuff. It's so fun. It was funny that he kind of stayed with the white after that. Post Strike Force. Oh, All-Star Game. NHL All-Star Game was the same day. That's cool. Tatanani, the Lions do not sleep tonight? I don't know. I hope they spoil the Green Bay party, but it's not looking good. They're down. I can't remember too many Bret Hart and Hercules run-ins either, and they're kind of mixing it up here. There might be a Hart Foundation and Power and Glory match that exists somewhere. There probably is. Yeah, Bret's fighting. I don't recall when Hogan comes in, but Hogan, in every one of these Rumbles, 90, 91, 92, I know he comes in at 89. I'm pretty sure he comes in the second half of the field. It's usually 20 or higher. It's time. I don't know what number we're at here. Undertaker. Hell yeah. Wait a second. Yeah, he's coming and he's not leaving. Blubber Love. He's still brand new here. Going right after Brett. Oh no, is he going to eliminate Brett? Wow. That's kind of interesting because I'm pretty sure Bret Hart is the first guy that Taker got physical with in the WWE. I think in that Survivor Series match, Bret kind of got his hands on him first. So it's interesting that here, the very next pay-per-view, Taker goes right after him and eliminates him. They will meet again at the Royal Rumble in one that you guys suggest in 1996. We might watch that one next week and watch Bret and Undertaker. I think Bret and Taker would also be the couple of the final guys in 97, right? Look at Tornado taking it to Taker. That match may have happened before in Texas. Kerry Von Erich and Taker. I think they know each other. Yeah, well, back in the day, Battle Royals weren't like that either. They're not going for moments because, they're not on their 33rd Royal Rumble. This is only like the third or fourth one they've done. So it's still very simplistic, and they haven't had to get too cute yet. But things would change once they put the title on the line the following year. Then it became a title match thing, and then things started changing. And now we're in the era where we got Kofi Kingston, non-eliminations every year and things like that, where there's gimmicky stuff. Always big returns. Back in these early days, you knew they pre-announced everyone. I can't remember the first year where you had a major surprise in the Rumble that you had no idea. I'm just trying to think. 90, 91, 92? No, we in 93, 94. I mean, in 94, you kind of had like the Brett injury. You didn't think he was going to come, but then he did. But that's not really a surprise. Like a big return. Definitely nothing in 95. Nothing in 97. Nothing in 98. Nothing in 99. 2000, they might have had a little fun. Bob Backlund came out. And then you started having some randos show up. 2001, we had Big Show turning up. And then it seemed like it was 2002 where you started getting more surprises. Hennig and Goldust and guys like that. But it wasn't really a thing for many years. Ugh. Kofi, huh? Holds the record for most tag team title runs. I guess I can see that because the New Day alone has held him 44 times. And I know he's had previous tag team championship partners back in the day. I just don't remember who. Maybe CM Punk? Probably somebody else too. Tags were hot potatoing 4 times a week back in those days. I couldn't keep track of it. I like that Snuka is out there. Wow. This is a very cool collection of talent in here. You got a dream team. You got a bulldog. You got half the dream team, half the bulldogs, a full strike force. You had half the Hearts in there a minute ago. Half Power and Glory. How many world championships we got in this ring right now? Taker's got a bunch. Kerry's got 1. And that's it. No other world champions in here. Take that other fat piece of garbage with him. Oh, I guess Martel. Martel's AWA champion. So we got three world champions in there. Kerry, Martel, and Taker. Lots of IC belts floating around. No WWE gold for Jake or Herc or Snuka. Former IC champ Greg, tag champ. Oh, Kofi got the record with that current NXT title run. That's awesome. That's the record, or that's the win that got him the record. That's crazy. He was champs with Bourne too, and R-Truth. Kofi and R-Truth, huh? I have no recollection of that. I have no recollection of him and Evan Bourne either. I barely watched in those days. I watched, but I wasn't retaining it. Because I wasn't like that into it. Like back in the day, I'd rewatch shit, which, you know, helped implant it firmer into my brain. But those like 04, 05, 06, 07, 08, 09 years, 10, 11. One eye on the product at best. Smash. The end of Demolition. You talk about a match pointless for a pay-per-view. That ridiculous thing they did at WrestleMania with Demolition at WrestleMania 7. Oh, Lions interception? Sweet. Take it to the house. No, maybe not to the house. Just to the sideline. No, maybe that didn't count. Now we got Demolition in there. We got Demolition represented. Dream Team. Heart Foundation. Nope, Heart Foundation's gone. Strike Force. Can-Ams. Bulldogs. Martel, is he in there? He's got to be in. He hasn't got eliminated yet. Wow, he's going to eliminate Jake that way. Wow, Martel. What a sleazy bastard. And in just a couple of months, it'll be the blindfold match. We watched WrestleMania 7 last year. Oh, Team Hell No beat Kofi and Truth. Okay, I remember the I Am the Tag Team Champion stuff. Okay. I guess I kind of remember that, but I do not retain history the way I used to. My brain doesn't give a shit anymore. Almost spilled my Broken Skull lager, but I saved it. It's Hawk. It's Hawk from Legion of Doom. Wow, Hawk's so fast. Look at the shape he's in back then. I mean, the LOD is still like 8 months away from winning the titles, which is nuts. Hearts still have the titles. They still got to pass them to the Nasties, and they have to have a run. And then they drop them at SummerSlam. And they're working over Hawk. There is some bad motherfuckers in here. Hercules could kick anybody's ass. So could Hawk. Darso's tough as shit. I don't think Bulldog is a pushover. Snuka kills people. Yeah, this is hardcore ring right now. Hilarious, Piper. Just checking the Twitters as these men are scuffling. I always thought Hawk could be a great singles wrestler. Like, if the LOD was never a thing, and we never knew what the Road Warriors looked like. And this guy showed up in 1991 wearing spiky-ass shoulder pads with that mohawk, that face paint, that build, and that athleticism. I'd think he's Intercontinental title material at the very least. I'm like, this Hawk guy is fucking impressive, and he's got a great promo. He's wild, perfect for the 80s, high on coke all the time. He'd give Warrior and Savage a run for his money, or their money on the intensity, you know. All three of those guys were nuts as hell. Oh, wow, and he got rid of, Hawk got rid of Snuka. Shane Douglas. Young Shane Douglas. He had promise. He was a young, you know, enthusiastic, spunky rookie back in these days. He would completely change his style and, you know, overall personality in ECW, basically being their version of Triple H. Yeah, Repo Man will be here soon. I don't know when Repo debuted. I guess it was late 91. It would have been later this year, I guess. They'd bring Darso back. I'm like, before you go bullying some blacktops and playing golf, we're going to need you to repossess cars. Another great promo. Darso could talk. He was funny as hell. I felt like Darso was the Hawk of Demolition and Edie was the Animal. I'll break your stinking neck. Yeah, I mean, Hawk could have been world champion too. I mean, it worked with Brett. They took one half of a tag team, split him off, kept his overall look the same, and he was able to achieve world championship success. It can be done. And here is our no-show. So this will be a Randy Savage, I guess. Somebody could be back there watching this and be like, nah, never mind. This isn't even for a title shot. Why am I going to risk my life? What's the payoff here? What's the purse? They never did tell you. I guess they probably don't want to put actual numbers on some of these matches, even if they're kayfabe numbers. The winner of this match gets $100,000, but then they really don't. That would be annoying to go out there and fake fight for that. But they've done it before in wrestling. We've had plenty of matches for bags of money. I don't think the wrestlers really win it, but... Okay, if Lions win or game is a tie, Seahawks are number 7 seed. But either way, Lions do not look like they are getting in. Playoffs? Playoffs for these guys? You kidding me? Taker hit Bulldog in the nuts. That bastard. Just wait till 97. Wait till the summer of 97, Taker. Heart Foundation's going to make your life miserable. Here comes Animal. I think we're somewhere around the number 20 mark, I think. 18 or 19, is that what they just said? Yeah, Demolition still does appearances. That's so cool. I'd probably I'd place them around my 3rd favorite tag team ever in WWE. Hearts first, Bulldog second, Demolition third. Wow, nice. Taker eliminated by the LOD. That is so crazy. I don't think they had quite realized that Taker is going to be a major deal in the company. He's somebody who's going to rival Andre in terms of the fear that they strike. But they weren't there yet with him. I have always thought of Andre and Taker in the same category in terms of, like, that nerve they struck with the fans. That, oh, shit. The only difference is Andre never had feuds with guys that dwarfed him, and Taker's a huge guy. But could you imagine if somebody dwarfed Andre the way Gonzalez dwarfed Taker? That would have been nuts. That human being doesn't exist. Yeah, I think Hawk got eliminated there. Animal is still in. Here comes Crush. All 3 Demolition member. Or no, I guess just 2. I guess Axe is no longer with us. He's going over there to help out. Wow. Demolition and the Bulldogs had a few early run-ins in the late 80s. But no Dynamite, no Axe. There's a picture of you and Davey Boy Smith on an episode of Wrestling Challenge. That is awesome. According to Taker, he hated the feud with Giant Gonzalez. I bet he did. I'd hate it too. How fun can that be? Hey, you want to just wrestle an oak tree? Sure, that sounds fun. Does he sell? Does it look like he sells? That right there, that shot of the model is from the magazine. They take that same shot and use it. It's crazy that my brain remembers that. Crush, first of many gimmicks. Crush is another guy we don't talk about very often who had at least maybe 5 separate type of looks in WWE. He came in here as Crush, returned as Shaka Bra, then he came back as the Convict, then he joined the DOA, right? And then he would come back one more time as Chronic, so that's 5. That's about as many as Beefcake had in WCW. That's crazy. You know, I'm not totally sure if you're talking about Martel, Nate Dogg. I don't know if spray tans existed in 1991. And plus, if you were spray tanned in this, that shit's going to run off because you're sweating. I think that's real, regular tanning bed tan. I don't think it's spray. It would be running all over them and stuff. At least I would think. I've never been spray tanned, but I know that shit runs because we've seen it in wrestling before. And I know on Friends, Ross fucks up real bad. Spray tanning himself. There's an episode of Perfect Strangers where Larry and Balky fall asleep in the tanning bed. Kramer, I think, does the same thing. It's a common gag on the sitcom or the movie. I'm trying to count. 360. We might have 10 guys in there. It's a good amount. Beefy ring. Martel's still there. Valentine's still there. And we got 4. We got 8. Yeah, we got 10. Looks like 10 in there. I'm really good at counting groups of people because in my restaurant and stuff, if we're doing a private event or something, a lot of times I kind of have to keep the kitchen informed or on a head count in case we have more or less than what we need. And I can kind of stand on a chair and look at a room of 40 people and get every person, by just kind of looking at groups. Okay, 5 over here, 6 over here, just kind of add them up quickly in my head, and I can tell them. And I'm usually pretty accurate with that. Pretty spot on. Years of practice. Oh, the match with Doink was your first Crush match experience. When I first met Elizabeth 4 years ago, we were just starting to talk around this time 4 years ago. We'd only been kind of hanging out, seeing each other for a few weeks. And, when she told me she was a wrestling fan, I didn't know how much of a wrestling fan she was. So this was at the same time of whatever that football game last year was where they had the double doink. Remember the field goal? I don't remember even what team, maybe the Bears, where I think he missed, but it hit the middle upright and the side upright, and they were calling it the double doink. And so we were texting that day, and I just said double doink, thinking that she would know what I was talking about, and she had no clue. And so I remember having to foolishly explain what I was trying to say. Well, you see, the reference I was trying to make here was the ball, there goes Animal, was the ball double doinked off the uprights, and the old angle back in WWE back in the day with the double doink, I was making that comparison, but she had no clue what I was talking about because I had to realize that not everybody is a psycho fan like me. Some people like wrestling, but they don't know it inside and out. It was a pretty cute moment. We might do Royal Rumble 2004, the guy. Are you the guy on the couch? Hey, the guy. Is it January? No, it's August. Quake. Yeah, they're lining it up. I mean, these two matches, like I said, in 1990, was kind of the same thing. It's going to come down to Hogan and the last guy he kind of feuded with. And the year before that was perfect. Kind of put a little cherry on top of their issue, letting the fans know that's over and done with. And any unfinished business Hogan would have with the Quakester would get wrapped up here too. And here comes Perfect. Super duper crazy smart. Just slow walk into the ring. He's got no... I never understood why people run. What are you trying to get in there early for? He's got 2 minutes to get there. I'd hang out too. I'd sit down. I'd have a granola bar. Cross my legs in the middle of the aisleway there. Look at that. That's a classic Heenan catch. Did you catch that? Perfect through the towel. Heenan didn't see it at first and then caught it at the last minute and backhanded it like the boss that Heenan is. Ooh, Packer player shoving an Alliance trainer. What a tough guy. Taking out an old-ass trainer? What's this? Okay. Oh, he did shove him. What the hell's wrong with you? You should be ejected, you punk ass. Oh, good. Coach is giving him shit. Use your head, dipshit. This has, playoff implications here, and you're shoving a trainer? Way to go, fella. If I was on that team, I'd give him all sorts of hell in the locker room. And Lions now poised to score or at least tie the game with a 1st and goal. 40. So right now, Hammer has outlasted Model at 43. Ricky is at 40. That's crazy. Comments from me is that you're just like me. My family, everybody I know is amazed by my memory from years and years ago. I can really pinpoint years. I'm really good at years. Wrestling is a part of that. It's a factor. It's not the only factor, but a lot of times I can use wrestling to kind of remember where I was. And then if I remember something happening in wrestling, I usually know what year that is. And if it coincides with a memory, I can figure out the year that way. So I kind of do the same thing. Here comes the Hulkster. He's in at what, number 23, 24? Smash right after Hulk. Demolition and Hulk used to be bros. Oh, here comes Perfect. Look at this. Wow. There goes Smash. Gone. What I'm really good at doing? I can do the Mr. Perfect gum thing. I have like 100% ratio on that. Or batting average. I never miss. I'm pretty good at the pen thing too, but I'm worried I'd hit the mic and jam it all up. Who's crying? Walker crying, dude, don't give the training staff? Oh, don't shove the training staff. The guy who pushed him is crying? Oh, yeah, he is. I see him. Is that the fellow who pushed him? Well, you know what? Number 7, right? Is that the one who did it? Yeah, I don't know if that was the guy that pushed him. I guess it is because he's leaving mad, or sad. But, I mean, at least if he's showing immediate remorse, he knows he fucked up. Wow, 3rd and goal, like literally on the line here. 3rd and inches. Come on, Hulk. I'm watching the score, Lions. All right, back to action here. Earthquake, Hercules, and Hogan. WrestleMania opponents from the previous year, Herc and Irk. Who's this? Haku. Now we got an Islander in there. We got an Islander, a Bulldog, a Dream Teamer, a Strike Forcer, a Can-Ammer, a Mega Power, a Demolition. And there goes Greg Valentine. Who threw him out? Hogan, I think. Piper knows all about Valentine. They're old friends. 45 minutes for Valentine. It's impressive for back in those early days. Because Valentine, he was the perfect guy to put as an Iron Man because the running kind of joke on Valentine was that he didn't get warmed up in his matches until like 15 minutes into them. So he's the perfect guy to last that long. History of the Royal Rumble. I don't have time for that kind of research, but I could do a podcast about it where we can just casually talk about it. I'll write down all the winners. Tell me your memories, and we'll shoot the shit about it. I'd be really good at that. Entire history video. I'd be great for the first 20 years, and I'd be shit for the last 20. Wow. Michael Kumo, I owe you. Thank you so much for that $5. Appreciate the super chat. How did Rick Martel not get an IC title run after this Rumble performance? I guess it just wasn't in the cards. The belt was unperfect, and it would go to Brett next. He came close. He was the final man in that battle royal with Razor. But lost to Razor, too. I think an IC title run would have been fine, especially they could have gone with him. I think maybe if Hennig didn't come in, if they didn't have Kurt Hennig, they might have gone with the model after Warrior and Hogan in 90. But, oh, it's Jim Neidhart. We have some crazy motherfuckers in there. We've got the Anvil in there. We have Haku in there. We got Hercules. We got Hennig. Crush, Davey. Shane Douglas is in there with all of these relatively sizable stars in the company at the time. He is in no man's land. If I was in Shane Douglas's shoes on this night, I'd be crapping my pants. I'm like, I'm in here with Hogan and Bulldog and Perfect and all these guys. This is crazy. 4 more. 27, 28, 29, 30. So he was number 26, Anvil was. Anybody left who has not done a thumbs up smash before the last 4 guys come out, I'd appreciate that. Oof. Jesus, that chop to Hennig by Haku was crazy. It's funny when 2 guys try to hit the guy at the same time. Nobody's communicating. It always looks like shit. Yeah, Demolition lost the belts to the Bulldog, or the Brainbusters. First fall was a count out. So I guess only the deciding fall is what needs to be a pinfall or submission. I guess they never really did clarify that in the rules, but they had to protect Demolition as best they could. And having him lose the first fall via count out, second with help from Andre the Giant, is a pretty good way to protect them in a loss, I think. So I can see why they did it. Here we go. Happy birthday, Bushwhacker Luke. It's the other Bushwhacker. Now he's going to come in and go out. I don't even know who throws him out. Maybe Earthquake does. Who's positioned in the ring? Does Hulk do it? Here he is. He's in. Whoa. He's going in. Earthquake's got him. And he just keeps going. I don't know what year Warlord's deal was. Must have been the year before, maybe. He came in and just did like, oh, and then got clotheslined by Hulk. But yeah, Bushwhacker Luke, on his birthday, we're watching him set, at least at the time, was a Royal Rumble record. I don't know who owns it now. Is it still Santino? Who's the guy that technically owns the record for this? But I think they've broken it as far as they can break it. I think we're down to like 1 second that the person has been in there, so I don't think you can even surpass that, but Santino in 09. Okay. All right, 20-16 Lions. We've got 4 minutes left in the fourth. Come on, guys. Hold on. You're in a good position here. You don't even have to. They can even kick a field goal. They have to score a touchdown to take the lead. So much time left. They got all the timeouts. I don't trust Detroit as far as I can throw them. Godfather in 2013. I don't even remember that. So Santino's got the record, and he probably has it forever. Nobody really knew who the Nasty Boys were. They just came in, too. They got the titles real quick. Nobody knows who the Nasties are here. Knobs. Lovie Smith out as Texas head coach. Not a surprise, I don't think. We haven't seen the Warlord, Macho King. Toot. They're running through the guys they haven't seen yet, and Curly goes, we haven't seen Tugboat. Toot, toot. Yeah, we know what Tugboat is. You don't have to do the sound effect. It's okay. Like, I know who you meant without the toot, toot. But the toot, toot was cute, cute. Knobs. I like how Piper repeated it. Knobs? Yeah, Knobs. They're excellent names, man. Knobs and Sags. What a great name for two fat fucking slobs who can kick the shit out of you. Awesome names. They're nasty. They're nasty looking, and they got nasty sounding names. It's perfect. Nasty mullets. Shane Douglas is still in there, mixing up with Hennig and Hogan at the moment. He's there. He's over there by himself. Look, he's right there. Franchising it up. 3rd and 10. 3rd and 10. Come on, stop him, boys. Oh, Aaron Rodgers got hit. Yes, interception. Go, Detroit. No flags, right? Aaron Rodgers did take a hit. They better not flag that. Hell yeah, Detroit. Can they wind the clock down at 3 minutes? Probably not. They're going to have to run some plays, but this makes things better. That's a shame, Green Bay. I'm sorry if we end up beating you, but I am going to like it. Yeah, Green Bay, I think, still is working on all their timeouts. You got a 2-minute warning. Detroit's going to have to move the ball. Otherwise, Green Bay will be getting it again. That's how football works, right? Good God, the bump on Crush. Good Jesus. Yeah. Piper said the same thing. So Warlord is in there. I almost said Wardlow. Warlord is in there now. Model's in there. Yeah, ice it with a TD. That'll put him out. Wow. 17th TD this year? Passes Barry Sanders for most of the singles for Lion and most single season in Lions history. That's insanely crazy. Don't know much about the current Lions crew, to be honest. I mean, I knew about the quarterback trade and everything we did there and the new coach and stuff, but I know dick about the team. So good for them. Good for him. I mean, there goes War. Man, what is it with Hogan and the Warlord? Why does Hogan always have to be the one to do it? Oh, yeah, so if it's Tugboat, that means Randy Savage was the guy. It's Tugboat. Wait a second. Look at Piper trying to figure out the Macho King wasn't hurt. I'm like, bitch, you saw a Warrior chase him out of the building. Why is this not dawning on you? Oh, perfect. Saves himself. Wow, good stuff. Yeah, now they're getting it. Oh, maybe Warrior ran him out. Oh, yeah. That's probably what it was. So I kind of forgot that we own... Did we get Sags? Did we get the other Nasty? I don't remember seeing him. Was he in early? Did we miss him? Or Nobbs is the only guy in this? I know they just came in, but maybe Sags was not here for this and it was only Nobbs. Ooh. I don't know if he caught that or not, but that's oh. Oh, wow. They're replaying this bumbly ass catch. I don't think that's a catch. It's all in his legs and shit. That's not a catch. It's all in his legs. I don't think. How does a catch work? I don't think that St. Brown catch was a catch. Doesn't look like one to me. It is a catch? How is that? It's in his balls. He's down. I guess the ball didn't hit the ground and then he still grabbed it with both hands. I don't know the rules. Rules on catches are so whack. But good. If he caught it, that means it's a first down. So that's good news. We are down to 3, 6, 9 combatants. Final 9. Tugboat taking it to Hulk, teasing it. They're trying to gauge it. Oh, wow. He nearly eliminated Hulk. That's a risky bump for Hulk to take. I mean, imagine if he tumbled all the way over. How would they fix that? Hogan's supposed to win this. Oh, and he threw Tugboat right out. Maybe that was some early seed plant here. Screw the Packers. I'm becoming a Bears fan next year. Welcome, K-Dog's Kennel. I forgot you're kind of Team Packers too. I don't think the Lions hate the Packers as much as the Bears hate the Packers, right? Isn't Bears and Green Bay have a little bit stiffer of a rivalry? Because, you know, they've actually won a Super Bowl. And been there. The Model. I want the Model to win, to be honest. The Green Bay jump? Hell yeah, they did. Offsides, bitches. Yeah, offsides. Yeah. Oh, perfect's out. Aku's out, and we got 5. Ricky Martel and Hogan mixing it up. Earthquake and Knobs in the corner. And Davey Boy all by himself. And 2 of these guys are with Jimmy Hart, so you'd think Earthquake and Knobs should be teaming up here. Oh, wow. Uh-oh. This is going to be Model's exit. Yep. So good. That was actually a great way to eliminate him. It was, like, dramatic. It was a big spot. He was up on the top, fell off. That was good. I'm glad it wasn't, like, an elimination that happened in the middle of something else and doesn't get the attention and they kind of miss it. That happens a lot in these early Rumbles. Valentine went out that way. After 45 minutes, they didn't really catch it. And they have thrown Davey Boy out, and it is now 2-on-1. Knobs and Earthquake. Knobs and Hogan are friends. Good to see Rogers on that bench. Look at that nasty boy. Nasty, nasty boy. Is that Janet Jackson or Paula Abdul? I think it's Paula Abdul. Probably came out the same year. Oh. Flair, yeah, I do believe broke Model's record in 92. As far as I know. I don't know the official stats on that. But I'm pretty sure Flair was an hour coming in at number 3. He made it an hour. I don't think he did. Oh, the Earthquake again. Shit. It's over, guys. I mean, I really thought Hogan was going to win, but clearly he's not. I mean, how can you get up from an Earthquake? It's like it didn't even hurt him. Oh, double clothesline. Hogan must be superhuman or something. I didn't expect that. How can a guy just get right up after being smushed? Oh, there goes Knobs, and it's 1-on-1. And it's the Hulk, and it's Earthquake. And he's hulking up. Earthquake's wobbly. Detroit's on the move. 2nd and 7. Flag on the play. Big boot to Earthquake. Pick him up and slam him. Down he goes. Down goes Jimmy for good measure. A little pipsqueak. Yeah, Backlund would have a great performance 2 years later. That's right. Oh, and he could not execute the power or the body slam on Earthquake. And, well, we thought Hogan was going to come back, but now, clearly, obviously, he's not going to. Earthquake is going to be your Royal Rumble 1991 winner. He'll go on to WrestleMania to face Sergeant Slaughter in a really interesting match for the WWE title. That's a shame. We'll try to watch Slaughter in Earthquake main event this year for WrestleMania watch-along. Showing those muscles off. What a guy, that Earthquake. Sorry, Hulk. You're overmatched, my friend. Yeah, give him another power slam for good measure. Just to ensure that there's no way he's getting up, ever. There it is. Yeah, he's done. Hogan is done. Might as well pin him. I hope. He's up again. I think Hogan needs to take a drug test after this match because he's defying all reality here. I like the shockwaves on Earthquake's gear. Kick it in. Now, you're not going to be able to leg drop and pin him, so does he body slam him over the top rope? Yeah, now he's going to slam him again. Earthquake trying to figure out where he's at. Body slam. Relatively easy to get a guy like Earthquake up for Hulk. He's gotten bigger and heavier up before. Oh, he's going to clothesline him over the top from the back, and out goes Earthquake. And Hogan is your two-time Royal Rumble winner. The last Royal Rumble he would win, thankfully. Hogan hasn't worked a Rumble since 92, right? If he did, it would have been like 04, and I don't think or 03. No, he wasn't in the Rumble there. Not as Mr. America, 05, 06, 07. He didn't come in any later years. Hogan won. I can't believe it. I was convinced that there was no way he could get up from an Earthquake splash and smash and power slam, elbow. Dude's superhuman. I think he feeds off the energy of the Hulkamaniacs or something. I mean, what other explanation is there for him to be able to withstand that kind of punishment? It can't just be milk and saying prayers, right? It's got to be something else. Peace in the Middle East. That would be nice. Look at Hogan. He's over signaling for something. Now he's like, give me that sign too. What does it say? I can't read it. Show that Saddam and Slaughter will surrender. Okay. Well, it would take a little while for Saddam to surrender. And Slaughter wouldn't surrender. He'd just lose. Blow a fireball in your face. And then you'd run it back at SummerSlam. That's how it's going to go, Hogan. No surrendering. Hogan's got, that must be some face paint from a wrestler. I don't know what's on his chest there. Oh, now he's got Old Glory. He defaced the flag. Yes, wave the flag. We're the greatest. We're the best. Look at our flag. We're awesome, USA. Can you say sign plants? I don't know. I believe those are legit signs. People brought signs all the time to the arena, and those were pretty shabbily written. So I think if they were signed plants, they would be much more big and in your face, probably just on whiteboard with big, black, visible lettering. I don't think they were plants. I went to shows back in this era. Signs were everywhere with all sorts of shit written on them. So with everything going on in the war and stuff, fans would bring signs that said that all the time. So I'm going to go with my gut, and I'm going to say those were shoot signs, not working signs. Is it 3 hours and 7 on the dot? It's 3 hours, 7 minutes, and 6 seconds. 10 seconds left of the show, as that is the end of Royal Rumble 1991. What a fun show. That was a fun 3 hours. Man, I forgot how long that show was, how many matches were on the undercard, and how many of them dragged out and took so long to kind of get to the end. But that was a really fun Royal Rumble to go back and watch. We're still watching the Lions here, who I think have got a 1st and goal with a minute left. That's going to wrap this game up for them. Green Bay's out of timeouts. Detroit can just run this baby out, and they don't even have to run a play if they don't want. They might not even want. What do you do in this situation if you're a football team? It's 1st and goal. You technically could have an interception or a fumble, run back for a touchdown, and you lose the game. Do you risk it, or you just run the clock out on the 2-yard line? I mean, you might not want to try to kick a field goal in either, because something could happen technically. Looks like they're going to down it. Kneel. Yep, that's it. Okay, so they kneel. That's it. No reason to put any more points up. Detroit wins. They finish the year 9-8. That warms my heart. I don't even care they don't make the playoffs. Even if they did, they wouldn't win anything. So that's an excellent finish, because they started 0-5 or 1-5 or 1-6 or something like that, and fought all the way back to a 9-8 record and spoiled Green Bay's plans in their own house in front of their dumb quarterback's face. Wow, good job. Detroit fans deserve happiness too, don't we? Come on. Even if you're a Green Bay fan, you could be a smidgen happy for us. Just a little, a tiny bit. I think that would be nice. But anyway, that's happy to see. What a great night. What a great night of wrestling and football. I've definitely had worse nights of wrestling and football. Spaz Phoenix, appreciate that $5 chime in. Last 7 people in the Rumble: Rollins, Zayn, Owens, Cody, Rock, and Punk. And number 30 is Vince coming out to Eric Bischoff's I'm Back music. I think people would think it's Eric Bischoff, but if he came out, I think, you know what? I mean, that's funny to come out to I'm Back, but don't you think that the beginning of No Chance in Hell would get an unimaginable crowd response? Not necessarily positive, probably a mixture of positive and negative that's just going to result in noise, a lot of it. I almost think Vince keeps his own music. That's what we're used to having him come out to. But that would be crazy. I don't think it's likely, but we'll see, especially if Rock is already in there. You got Cody and Rock already coming out, and Punk, and Vince is the final surprise. That's an interesting fantasy booking universe you're living in there, Spaz, but that's cool. I'd be interested to see it in a fantasy land. He should come out to Stand Back. That would be great. That would be freaking awesome. I saw a clip on YouTube today of a Tatanka dark match, a tryout match prior to his hiring. And they gave him Crank It Up, the Jimmy Hart song from the Pile Driver album, to come out to, which matches nothing of his Native American gimmick at all, which is pretty funny. But wrestling's fun. But anyway, thank you guys so much for being here tonight. It was fun. I will keep you updated on what to expect this week. I might be here for a watch along tomorrow. I'm not sure what I got going on. Maybe I'll come up here and watch Raw with you guys. I'm not sure, but I'll try to get at least something up on the channel prior to Wednesday, because I'm going to Dynamite at the Forum. And also, if you are a channel member, keep a lookout to the community tab. I'm going to be putting up a post here soon to ask you guys for questions for the Q&A, which we will be doing Royal Rumble weekend. I'm kind of targeting Friday night for that, maybe after SmackDown, to get something like that done. So keep that in mind for later on this month. And yeah, I think that's about it. So thanks for being back with me here this week. I will decide on what one to do next weekend for the Royal Rumble. I do like the 1996 idea. I'll probably throw up a poll and have you guys decide between 96, 99, and maybe another one, unless I just decide to make the executive decision and just do 1996. We'll see. I'm an enigma. You'll never know what I'm going to do. Anyway, one final super chat from Spaz. Thank you so much, dude. If Toni Storm is actually Paige's partner this week, do you think she'll get booed like Ray did for not being Bryan in that one Rumble? Yes, possibly, but I also think the fans are going to recognize that just because she comes out doesn't mean that Mercedes won't. Where in the Royal Rumble, Ray was number 30. You knew nobody else was coming out. There was nothing, even if Bryan came out, he's not in the Rumble. So at least with Toni, she might not get a great reaction because fans are like, come on, we want Mercedes. But if they're just bringing her out there at first to run an angle in the match for Mercedes to come out, that is what I think the fans might still think is possible. And like I said yesterday in the podcast, I'm not sold on the idea of Mercedes being the partner. I think New Japan might have dibs on her first match, and she's not going to wrestle in the ring until she faces Kyrie. So if she shows up on Dynamite this week, I think it's maybe to come out after the match. Let's just say Shida attacks Toni Storm and Saraya is in there one-on-one and the heels are beating her down. Sasha or Mercedes comes in to make the save, or Mercedes turns heel or goes heel. Didn't she kind of do a heelish thing at Wrestle Kingdom, right? So maybe she actually joins Baker and Hayter and assists in the beatdown of Saraya, planting a program to be revisited later after February 18th and her, potentially winning that championship. So I think she should just do her thing. She's good for Japan. She's been training a couple of the dojos there. She seems to be committed, and New Japan is where she's committed to be right now. It's just a lot of fans think she can be here on Wednesday due to the working relationship between the two companies and, probably her desire to not really tie herself down too strongly to any one specific place. And if she is, it's probably short term, which means she's with New Japan, not super long term. She can appear in AEW, just maybe she can't appear right now. All of those things are possible. So I still am not ruling out her being there, but I also understand that maybe she won't be. But that will be part of the surprise. It felt like the same thing at Double or Nothing when I was there, when the rumors of MJF no showing that contract, that autograph signing or whatever. And since I wasn't home in front of my computer trying to read all the information I could, I was on the road in a hotel with shoddy internet. I didn't really know what the situation was, and I wasn't going to know if MJF was working the show or not until match time. And I was asking people around me, do you know anything about MJF? And they're like, from what we understand, it's happening. So it was fun not knowing if we were going to see him. And then when he opened the show to come out and do the Wardlow match, that was pretty cool. So I'm hoping that I will experience something kind of similar on Wednesday, because I think it's pretty ballsy of AEW to make a mystery partner stipulation on a night like this in this market with so much buzz around Mercedes. To not have her be involved in that in some way might feel like a letdown, and it might make you wonder why they just didn't do a regular tag match to begin with without even having the mystery partner crap attached to it. They did it all just for that sit down, for her to reveal that it was Tony and to screw over Sheeta. I guess that was the point, but either way, like Juliet says, it will be interesting. You guys have a great rest of your Sunday evening. I will talk to you real soon. Make sure you shoot me a follow over on social media at Good Mic Work on Twitter and at Good Mic Work 1 on Instagram, because on Wednesday I will be posting all sorts of updates from the forum in Los Angeles. So